cable station that serves Jenison, Hudsonville, and Granville. The second big OK showdown is tonight. The State of Michigan AA High School Regional 1 semifinal game being played tonight at Ted Carlson Memorial Stadium here in Rockford, Michigan, as the Wildcats try and overcome a 1-point loss in their OK final rematch. This will be the rematch for them, but they lost by 1 point in the league OK standings. My name is Roger York, and along with my partner Don Peterson and Steve Peterson, we'll bring you the crucial state championship game. This is the first game played in the state of Michigan. Don, you want to run down through?
Be happy to, Roger. Excited to be here tonight. We're on top of the WCET truck down on the goal line. It's about 40 degrees out, a little chilly tonight. Wind out of the north at about 10 to 20 miles, well, 15 miles an hour. So hopefully we'll stay warm up here. Jenison comes in tonight's game 6-1 OK Red, just behind the Rockford Rams, who won the OK Red title with a perfect 8-0 record. Both teams come off losses. Last week, Jenison had a hard-fought game at Muskegon where they were defeated 34-24, while the Rockford Rams took a pretty big loss to Birmingham Brother Rice here on this same field last Friday night, 41-14. Just to give you a brief rundown on some of the things that are going on in the Jenison offense, C.J. Hooper and his running mate, Mitch Harriman, account for quite a bit of the yardage. About 75% of the time you'll see them run the ball, and possibly 25% of the time they'll be throwing the ball. So their total offense per contest this year is about 350 yards per game, which is pretty significant for high school. They're getting about 270 yards on the ground and about 80 in the air. And CJ has got 9 TD throws, and he's accounted for around 31 touchdowns, handing that ball off into his backfield, which is mainly Mitch Harriman. And he's gained at this time about 1,150 yards offensively for the year as a junior. Played last year as a sophomore and should be up for all-state honors, I would think. He's got one TD with 7 receptions. And the other key player for the Wildcats, as I see it, is C.J. Hooper, that quarterback, with a 47% pass completion ratio. He's 36 for 77, and also is quite good on the ground. So I want to give it to Steve real quick here.
Yeah, just a quick recap. It's a great night. It's a full house. It's an electric night. Both teams coming off tough losses last week, so it'll be interesting to see how they rebound and how they react. But they're ready for the kickoff. I'm going to turn it over to Roger.
Well, Tony Anise is going to try and get himself back on the winning track. In the last 3 games, he's got a losing. He's lost 2 games and only won 1. And of course, Ralph Munger, he has not tasted defeat, and last week got a real stiff dose of what defeat felt like, and he wants to turn things around here tonight. So this should be a classic matchup. 7-6, Rockford beat Jenison in the last meeting, and so we're just about ready to get going. And number 45 for Jenison, Eric Anderson, is ready to get it going and is just waiting for the official to give him the go-ahead.
Yeah, Eric's got the win in his back here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him put it in the end zone.
Number 20, Chris Maxim, is back, and he lets it go through, and let's see what happens. Are they going to down it? They do.
They down it by number 20. Chris Maxim downs the ball in the end zone, so that was a smart play on his part. So I guess that'll give the Rams first and 10 on the 20. A lot of balloons up in the air, orange and black balloons going up in the air.
Well, I tell you couldn't ask for a better evening for the start of the tournaments. It's just a crisp evening for football.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night. It's been a great year weather-wise for high school football, and this is just a great way to start the finals.
Another thing, a tribute to the fans. This is another packed house of probably 8,000 or 9,000. Here we go as Dan Richard brings his group up to the line of scrimmage. Quick pass to the outside. Jenison right on top of it to snuff him for a short gain.
Brought down by number 9, Boheis, from his corner position.
Dan Richard has done very well for Rockford this season, leading him to just 1 loss, and so we're going to see him run, option, pass.
Just a quick, B.J. Moss, their big tight end, and defensive end, is out for the year with the ACL tear, and Scott Dodds, number 88, is filling in for him at defensive tight end from his linebacker position.
Man in motion, and number
that's
12.
Mike Oakes.
Number 13.
Mike Oakes on the reception.
Picks up a few yards. It looks like he's going to be short of the first down, about 4 yards short.
Well, Matt Wieringa did a great job. He stayed with him, got him, slowed him down enough that the rest of the defensive team could stop him short of the first down.
Well, one of the keys that we want to look at is the man in motion and see if they run to the side of the man in motion or they go away. This is a second play, and they've ran to the side so they get a lead blocker up there.
If you remember last time we did the Rockford Jenison game, you noticed that the 3rd and long or 3rd and 5 were the big key plays for the Rams all night long. So watch for another
cut back coming through. Number 36, Tony Savickas picks up, looks like a first down.
Brought down by number 17 for the Wildcats, who's not on our program, but
mystery player.
Number 17 for the Wildcats is actually Austin, and he's number 17. He's a sophomore.
Oh, okay, he brought a sophomore from JV.
Austin Amato.
Great. And he's playing at a cornerback position, is he?
Yeah, we got a wing formation, a straight handoff to number 40, Phil Beamer, straight up the middle.
Well, that's a nice hit by Rick Boldice. Really put a nice tackle on him, and after a gain of about 3-4 yards. So nice defensive play.
Rick Boldice coming in to play the outside linebacker spot to fill in for Scott Dodds. Scott Dodds filling in for Brandon Moss at defensive end, number 88. Watch for Scott Dodds at that defensive end spot, number 88.
You'll notice Rockford will bring in a lot of people, so they're trying to keep their people fresh. Go to a single setback on this set, double wideouts. Dan Richard looks like he's going straight back to pass. He's throwing it right outside, and there might have been no incomplete pass.
Chad Sample on the defense, number 10 for the Wildcats. It's a replay. Watch Dan Richards drop back to throw the ball. A little overthrown. Nice defense for the Wildcats.
Yeah, the receiver, Mike Oakes, he actually got a hand up, almost tipped it to himself, and almost made a great catch on that. But actually, it's going to now be 3rd and about 7.
This is the play that killed the Wildcats a couple of weeks ago when the Wildcats played Rockford out of Jenison. Every time the Rams had a 3rd and long, they seemed to convert. Here's an opportunity with the wind coming in from the north. If they could hold them here, would be a nice opportunity.
Richard again, back to pass. He's got time, and he gets it downfield and throws it over the head of the receiver, 27.
Adam Burkholder, the intended receiver, was well overthrown. Watch for number 1, David Rice goes, their all-state punter. Here's a replay.
Watch the blocking, good blocking in there.
Well overthrown ball. He's throwing into probably a 15-mile-an-hour breeze. So deep to receive, if we could pick up that number, is
number 10 and number 7 for the Wildcats.
Campo and Rado.
Well, we know who's going to punt, and he's an all-state punter, David Reicho.
Rado.
Handoff on the kick, and Sample brings it up the sidelines. Nice return by the Wildcats as they go on offense to see what they can put together.
Brought down by 71, Andy Towers, 6 foot 190, defensive lineman, playing to stop on the play for the Rams.
Well, the people to watch for on offense with Jenison, of course, is their quarterback, C.J. Hooper, who has been sort of the everything revolves around him, but the big guy is Mitch Harriman, and if he can have a good game tonight, the Wildcats can move this football.
Matt Schmucker, the offensive center at number 64, 5'10", 210 center.
Mitch Harriman behind the quarterback. Aaron Dawkins next to him. Aaron Dawkins throws a block, and Hooper's got a little trouble, and he's trying to get out of it, and he's out of bounds on the sidelines.
Boy, Hooper really made a nice run there. Put a nice run on, good move on the defensive back for Rockford, and really turned on the speed. Good foot speed.
It's difficult, really, from our vantage point to tell how much gain or loss there was in the play. There was a flag on the play.
Let's see what this infraction is going to be. There was no basically little yardage, so they may refuse the penalty here.
Watch C.J. Hooper break to his right, and as oftentimes he will do, he'll cut up field and not look to go out of bounds, and he's driven out on about, I guess, a no gain.
Well, you notice the penetration that Rockford's defense put on Jenison. They drove him deep back so that he really could only make it back up to the line of scrimmage. So good defense by Rockford. Jenison is in a big penalty.
Yeah, they have. They put themselves in a big hole with a clipping penalty now. They're still going to have first down, but it looks like it's going to be about first and 20 yards. Ball's on their own 15.
First and 28. It's hard for us to see down the sidelines here, so bear with us a little bit as we get our bearings. C.J. Hooper, a long count. Fakes the first man through.
Number 30, Mitch Harriman with the carry off the right side of the line for almost no gain. Running in behind Tracy Branch, 62, the right guard, 5'10", 230. Rockford Rams with that good defense. Mercer, number 33, Bo Mercer, 5'11", 220 senior tackle, going up against Tracy Branch. Little gain on the play, brings up
second down.
Second and a long second down.
A lot of yardage for the Wildcats. Let's see if they throw a little caution to the wind here and if they put the ball in the air. Hooper again, a long count. First man through, and he picks up the 5-6 yards.
Brought down by number 8, the inside linebacker for the Rams, Mike Lundberg, who we called his name a number of times last 2 weeks ago when they played, or 3 weeks ago.
Well, the key guys on defense for them, of course, is Tony Savickas, 36, number 42, Steve Mikulak, and then number 8 is Mike Lundberg, who just made the tackle.
Third and long, so you might see a little pass here, possibly. I don't know. The ball's on about the 25-yard line, so he's got about a 15-mile-an-hour wind behind his back.
Got a slot formation. Let's see what Hooper does with the two wideouts. And again, he hands it straight up the middle. Oh, keeps the ball and gets snacked right at the line of scrimmage. Good defense by Rockford.
Rockford really made a nice defensive play there. Here's a replay. We'll get a look. It was a pretty good offensive fake, but he kept the ball, and number 42 for Rockford wrapped him up and for no gain. Actually, a little bit of a loss.
That's Steve Mikulak, number 42, who did a lot of damage, as I said before. He's a great defensive player, plays a lot of offense, too. This is going to give the Rams a good field position. With number 30, the punter, is Mitch Harriman, averaging about 36 yards per attempt.
23, Courtney Yen, who was a thorn in Jenison's side last time. He's going to give a fair catch and makes a nice catch. And you notice the field position is beginning to change a little.
Good point.
On about the 42-yard line, the Rams will take over with about 7 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Well, offensively, Jenison would have really liked to get out and get a little bit better drive sustained to start the game and get a little momentum going on their side, but the clipping penalty really hurt them, put them in a deep hole, and now their defense has got to stand up and play tough.
Well, with their big defensive end and tight end missing it, a lot is going to be on Dodds to make it happen down there at the defensive end position. Richard hands off to the second man through 40, Phil Beamer, and he picks up some yardage right through the middle.
Brought down by number 32 for the Wildcats, and Aaron Amato.
Bad tackling right there by Jenison. He went through two people on a nice drive by Beamer.
Yeah, good hard run up the middle. Rockford's really trying to establish a nice running game up the middle now and use some time and put the ball in Jenison territory.
2nd and 5 for Dan Richard. Single setback. Again, he's back to pass. Looks like a screen, and it's going to be a screen pass. Number 27, Adam Burkholder.
Brought down by Bo Heist, number 9, from his linebacker spot.
Notice how he came back, Steve, and he just came back and kicked the ball right over the middle.
He sure did. Nice screen pass. I think it's just short of the first down, though.
It's close to
third and 1.
Third in the yard. Very difficult to tell from the spot that we're looking, but it is a 3rd and 1 call.
Big play for the Wildcats right here. If they could get a little defensive stance right here and stop them, they could stop this field position.
Quarterback keeper right up the middle for the first down, I'm sure.
Yeah, nice surge by the Rockford offensive line. They ran a quarterback sneak, which is a good call right there. Little can go wrong, and the offensive line really did a nice job.
First down, Rockford.
Number 71, the last man up off the pile for the Wildcats, Todd Gregg, that 5'5", 240-pound tackle. The nose guard does a nice job for the Wildcats.
I think this next series is very important for Jenison right here to stop this.
Yeah, it is.
Take him out of this rhythm. Dan Richards has 2 setbacks this time and a tight, his ends are in.
Little fakery, number 20, the ball carrier for the Rockford Rams, Chris Maxim, for a little gain.
Bolheis and Dodds came up, made a nice defensive stop there. Good job.
Defensive line just sort of squished right down into where the hole was and put the clamps on them. What's interesting now, they spread out their team the first series. Now they brought in the tight ends and they tried to penetrate. It'll be interesting on this next series.
Yep.
Couple downs here to see what they do.
The thing about this Rockford team is Richard is always a threat to throw long. He's got a good strong arm, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him do some of that.
Here he comes. He's going to roll. He's going to roll to his right.
He's got a tight end wide open.
He's got, the guy is, beautiful pass, almost caught. Sample gave up on that defensive position, and he really shouldn't have.
Yeah, you're right.
Number 23, the intended receiver, Courtney Yan, wants the ball almost just barely overthrown, defended by Sample 10 on about the 15-yard line.
Not a bad pass there. Actually, there were two Rockford receivers that were open, and Jenison's got to be aware of his arm strength. He can get the ball down the field.
He threw into a pretty good breeze there, too.
Yeah, he is.
Third and 9.
Third and 9.
It looks big play here for Jenison, but those defensive ends have got to contain him or drive him deep back when he rolls. Got a big spread out right now, no single setback. Got 4 men that can go out, and we have movement in the line.
What we have, Roger and Steve, is a defensive player for the Wildcats jumped across the line of scrimmage. Here's a replay. Watch one of the interior linemen for the Wildcats jump just a little bit. There he goes, and back he goes, and it's too late. 5 yards, and that'll make a 3rd and 9, a 3rd and 5 real quick.
Well, you can't do that, and
now Jenison it looked like they had a defensive stunt in place. They were worrying it was going to blitz up the middle, and just got a little jumpy there. They're trying to time that snap.
3rd and 4. Rockford with 4:47 to go in the first quarter on a little mini drive right here. Again, they got people spread out. They've got 5 receivers, no setback. Richard goes back. He's got good protection. Hits a man right over the middle quickly. Number 20.
Kurt, that's Chris Maxim, the receiver.
Yeah, I think it's enough for a first down, too. Nice play.
Number 27, the sophomore, Eric Dawkins on the stop.
Jenison's defense didn't look prepared for that coming right across. They had nobody backing up into the zone to try and pick that thing off.
I think the receiver slipped in front of the linebackers for Jenison and caught them off guard a little bit as they were dropping back into their zones.
1st and 10, Rockford. Again, they're going into that wide set. They got everybody out. It's got a slot on the right, slot on the left, man in motion.
Mike Oakes, 13, in motion to the
Again,
right.
He comes out. He's got some blocking. Good play.
Nice play, sniffed out by, I can't pick up his number.
Waringa Matt Waringa came up, really made a nice defensive play. Here's a good look at a replay here. If you watch Waringa from the inside linebacker position, he's seen this play 3 times now, reads it, and made a great tackle.
Nice
tackle, Matt.
Tackle. He's not going to go anywhere. When you hit him around the knees, they're not going to go anywhere.
Looks like he lost a couple yards, so it'll be 2nd down and 12 yards to go for a first down. Good defense.
Here's an opportunity with the Wildcats. They've got to put the stops on now when they have 2nd and long, and they just got to stop this drive.
Well, Dan Richards is sure coming out throwing the football.
Yeah,
so he is. He's not not messing around. Again, they've got 5 guys out, man in motion. Jenison does not move with the man in motion. They penetrate, no contain. Got a man wide open down the field, and it's going to be in there for a touchdown or close.
Number 11 for the Rams, that would be Andy Seagard, who plays defensive safety. The receiver, here's a replay. Watch Andy Seagard, number 11, break free on about the 10-yard line. Took up the long pass, nobody on him. Closest man to him, number 17 for the Wildcats.
Well, the
sophomore, I believe.
Austin Amato, and Rockford probably realized they've got a young sophomore out there, and they went after him that time. And the Rockford receiver really made a nice catch there to bring it in. Good play.
Now again, you see the defensive end where he was really nowhere to be found, trailing a play again. It's just a breakdown.
They've got it down deep at about the 2.
Number 36 with the ball. That was
Jenison makes a stiff play right here on defense.
Yeah, here's Savickas.
Harima came up and made a nice defensive play there, stopped him for a short gain, if any. You can see Harima from his free safety position came up and wrapped him up, made a nice tackle.
Good defensive stance by Jenison's right defensive end. He took on number 46, which is 46 is for Jenison, or for is Karekas. He's a tough ball player.
It's time to go to the other side.
And we go into the middle of the line again, and they look like they punch it home. Goes right over the center.
Steve Nikolak, number 42, on the touchdown. They had 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. The first play's off the left side. Second play off the right side, and again, here's a replay. Watch number 42 drive in the end zone for the score behind a nice offensive line surge from the Rams. He ran in behind Ben Miller, number 51, the right guard, and the center, Jared Ilale.
Now again, Jenison's defense, they had him wrapped and then let him go. If you notice on the replay, number 62 had his legs and then somehow good running by the fullback broke it.
Yeah, fullback Mikulak did a nice job, kept his legs churning and smelled the end zone.
Number 56, Greenland, is good.
Right now, the Rams take the lead 7-0 at 2:34 to go in the first quarter. Wildcats look like they need to get their defense together a little bit right now, so they have a tester on their hands, that's for sure.
Nice drive by the Rams, as you say, Roger. They drove the ball probably 60 yards after the punt exchange. Both teams having an opportunity to move the ball. Rams score first, make it 7-0. Tonight's winner will meet the winner of tomorrow's game, which is being played tomorrow at 1 p.m. That is Grand Ledge plays Midland, and if Midland should pull out a victory, they would come over and play either Rockford here, or they would go and play Jenison at Jenison. If perchance Jenison would be the win tonight.
But you know what I like so far, what I see from Rockford is that they've opened this game up.
Yeah, they have.
They have not kept it into a confined area like Jenison has stayed on the ground pretty much, run their fullback and their options. Man, Rockford is throwing everything with the kitchen sink.
You're exactly right, and when you do that, it keeps your defense off balance, and they've been able to establish a little bit of running ground, and Richards has had a nice game so far in the air. What Jenison really needs to do here, though, is settle down, sustain a drive. They had a penalty that hurt them last time, so get their offense in gear and try to hold the ball.
Luke Greenland back to kick off. Deep receive. Mitch Harriman standing about the 10-yard line.
Wildcats are going to try and get a return back. Sample muffs it, picks it up. Let's see if he can get something. He breaks through the first wave, and if he can make it up through, he gets up to about the 40-yard line. Good return by Sample. Anytime it seems like when you fumble the ball or you muff the ball, it seems like there's always a good gain if you can get that ball back in control.
Boy, he did. I thought he had a lot of space up the sideline there to close in on him, but actually got the ball back to about the 40-yard line. So there's Jenison starting with great field position here now.
Right. This will be a real tester right here. This will see what Jenison's all made about. If they can just put a few first downs together, this will turn a little momentum around. Hooper's got his folks up there at the line of scrimmage. High formation. Comes down the line of scrimmage, and he's going to keep the football.
Take the ball into Harriman, kept the ball himself. Went off the right side of the line for about 5 or 6 about 5 yards off the right side of the line. C.J. Hooper not afraid to put his head down and go for some yardage. He has about 700 yards rushing this year. He's averaging about 6.5 yards per rush. He's got 10 scores, so he's not afraid to run the ball. Not that big at 5'8", 160, but he's pretty quick.
Split backfield, 2 wideouts. Long count by the Wildcats. Hooper comes down the line of scrimmage again. And it looks like the Rams may have come up with a football the way it looks.
See what we've got here. We really can't tell until you unpile them.
Yeah.
And it is. Rockford's got the football.
That was picked up by 46, Ryan Crookus for the Rams. Big break for the Rams. They're making their own breaks now when they hand off. It's cold out tonight. It's no excuses, but you can't give up the ball like that. You can't put it on the ground.
Mitch Harriman, again, is usually pretty good about keeping that football. I was
very
surprised.
Uncharacteristic of Harriman. Just it happens, and it was a tough play, but now the defense has got to make a stand.
Yep. Good defense by Rockford. They made that happen, and that's what it's all about when you're on a defense.
Excuse me, Roger.
Dan Richards again. He's coming down. He's looking for another open man, and he's got him right there.
He's got number 13, Mike Oakes again. Mike Oakes is doing some damage right now.
If we could get a replay on that, guys, that was a great route by number 13, the receiver for Rockford. But he ran a nice timing pattern, and here's a look at it. If we can get a look at this, you can see Richards is waiting. He knew who he wanted. And the Rockford receiver really ran a nice pattern to get to the first down marker.
Down on the 35-yard line.
Number 17 is being picked on right now.
Yes,
folks.
He is. You're absolutely right. He's
got after the sophomore.
Yeah.
Austin, it's time to strap it up a little bit tighter.
And there he goes back to pass again. Richards fakes one way, and he moves. Beautiful move outside, and the pass is slightly overthrown, and Sample was trailing the play, but was close.
One of the things I like to point out, when Dan Richards is able to get the ball off like he has on the several occasions, he's going to drop back to pass. He's going in behind a line that's about 240 tackle to tackle. He's getting all kinds of time to throw the ball, and I think Jenison needs to send the linebacker to put some pressure on 17 to disrupt his, his ability to throw the ball into the open receivers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Remember last game down, we talked about that they didn't do that either until the very end when they needed to get the football. Number 34 is carrying the football, John McCumber for Rockford, trying to pick up a few yards.
Yeah, that's a good point, because we can pick on the defensive backs for Jenison because they're the guys that you see during the play, but if you're not getting a good defensive rush on that quarterback, he's got all time to throw it. Eventually he's going to get a receiver downfield.
Yep.
He's got tackle that goes 248, guard 215, center 220, guard 215, and a right tackle 79, Adam Keefe at 6'6", 278. So he's got some big kids up in front. Then he got the big tight end, 6'7", 245, 87, Brandon Hamilton. So he's got a big line in front of him to timeout, or is that the quarter? I guess?
No, it's a timeout by Rockford.
With about 29 seconds to go in the first quarter.
We got 3rd and 8 right now, and this is I think a very big play for Jenison. If they can stop them, make them try and kick a field goal or punt the football, they can come away here unscathed. But
this is a key play. You're right.
I'm sure. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I was just going to say, I think that's why Rockford, they understand the importance of this play. They call the timeout. They want to get the troops together and try to design a nice play here to get a first down.
You know, one thing that we didn't point out before we got started, we probably should have taken a little more time at the beginning, but Rockford has a playoff experience, having gone into playoff last year. They won the OK Red, and then they went on to play, I think, 3 games deep into playoffs before they were defeated. Had they won that last game, they would have been down to Pontiac Silverdome. So they come in with some experience. They've got a lot of seniors playing on that team, and that makes a lot of difference at this level. So Jenison, a couple of years ago, had the chance to go into playoffs, and it gives you a little bit more of a confidence booster having been there before.
Well, right now, I tell you, I like what I see with Rockford and what they're doing on offense. To me, they're showing Jenison, we're going to come at you with about 5 different weapons, and you better be ready.
They have definitely spread it out, as they are on this play.
Yep. Dan Richard again. We got a flag.
Like got some offensive movement there. I don't know. I couldn't quite tell, but the Jenison players are definitely pointing toward the offensive line.
Let's see what the official says. He's going to call
5 yards.
5 yards, and it's a ran.
Boy, that's a big play.
That helps the Wildcats. They can give them maybe that 7-yard pass now, but they got to watch the deep stuff.
3rd and about 12.
Well, let's see when they come up. They got number 87, who's about 6'8".
He
Brad
is a big
Hamilton.
kid.
He sure is a big boy, and we haven't seen him catch the football yet, but I'm sure it'll come at him. Got trips out on the side. Let's see if he's going to go deep. It's going to be like a mini screen, and see if Jenison can recover. And they do recover, and number 27, 27, excuse me.
27, Dawkins brings him down, but you'll notice that time they did send the linebacker 44. Watch this time the linebacker 44 breaks through and puts a little pressure on the passer. 87, though, as big as he is, big target.
We just talked about him, but there you notice the defensive end also played a factor in that pressure, and that's good. That's what he's got to be.
Absolutely.
They must have heard us up there, guys. Yes, they sent a defense. You think they hear us?
Yeah, they're tapped into our telecast here.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter, and the Wildcats find themselves on the bottom side here, 7-0.
Steve, why don't you give us a little rundown on that first quarter?
Well, you know, it was still early in the game, but Jenison has not had the opportunity to really establish any momentum. I'd like to see the number of plays they've run so far, but I think they've run about 4 offensive plays total. So it's tough to get your offense in gear here and get things rolling. But the first touchdown scored by Michalak was on a 2-yard run with 2:34 left in the first quarter, and the extra point was kicked to make it a 7-0 lead. Really shaping up to be a good game, and I think Jenison, if they can make a, not get into too much field territory trouble right here with this punt and get the ball out outside the 10 or 15-yard line, that could establish themselves for the second quarter.
Not a seat to be had. We've got people ringing the field. We were out here last year when Jenison played Rockford, and there was not a ticket to be had. So
You know, the key thing on this play is the guys back for Jenison on this punt have got to be smart. They've got to understand where the ball is, whether or not to catch the ball, and if they're not, get away from the ball here.
What's the All-State punter, though? Go for the sidelines. He'll aim this thing over here. Which he did.
Nice
he goes
punt.
out on about the...
Oh, boy. Right about the 11-yard line.
11-yard line.
Nice punt.
You can see it coming from the vantage point we've got. You can see he's aiming that ball right there for the 10-yard line. That's a heads-up play by an All-State punter. I'm sure coached well by Ralph Munger, his 7-year coach out at Rockford. Nice kick. Hurts the average, but it helps the team.
Well, this young man is going to go to a Division I program, that's for sure. I mean, you could just see he's like a man amongst boys when he just kicks that football. So much control.
Yeah, a lot of poise. He knew exactly what he wanted to do.
Well, fellas, we can finally see a little action here. We got the team right down by us here, so we can see a little better.
Well, let's watch Hooper, see if he can get his boys going. Herma down back. Slot right. First man through, and he's got the football. Picks up good yardage.
And, you know,
First breakaway for Jenison. They must be blocking. If we can see a replay, we'll see how the blocking went.
I'd just like to point out one thing, if I could, on that play. Watch a replay. I want you to watch Herma, how quick he is off the ball and through the line of the hole. He had a beautiful hole, and it was just brilliant speed from where he was and hitting that hole the way he did.
Jenison coming up the ball pretty quick. Got a slot to the left. I formation. Herma again, first man through, and they find a little running room again.
The old saying in football coaching is if it works, keep doing it until you shut it down. Again, Herma right up the middle, so they're making a nice hole in there behind Schmucker, number 64, and the left guard, Ben Ashmore, 58, and Tracy Brant's doing good work up in front. Nice holes for Mitch Herma.
Yeah, from our vantage point, we really get a good look at what the offensive line is doing a great job, and I'll tell you, Mitch Herma is a punishing running back.
Yeah, he's quick. I mean, he's got some blinding speed. He hits the hole quick.
And he's strong.
Aaron Dawkins is back with Herma. We've got a double setback. Let's see, there's movement by the defensive tackle. Let's see who gets called here. 67, if he didn't go across.
That was a second and about 2. Let's watch the replay, see what happens.
Now they're going to call Jenison.
There's a couple linemen flinching in there.
The whole right side of the line, the interior linemen, were rocking forward. Yeah, the second guy in moved, and Dodds was ready to roll, and it's happened. The guys.
Here's a replay. Watch it again. Watch the right guard just a little bit, and once he went, everybody else said, "Let's go," and it was too late.
Looked like it was a hard count. Number 62, the right guard for Jenison, bit on it.
Rockford is in a 5-man front, so we'll see if we can get some good line play by Jenison. First man through again.
This time Herma, or not Herma, but C.J. Hooper brought down in there by number 42 for the Rams. Number 42 being Steve Mukulak, does a lot of damage on defense. You know, guys, I just like to say this. We had second and short for Jenison Wildcats. 5-yard penalty makes it second and long. Now we have third and long, and that's just self-defeating. Well, we agree with Alan Dodds. Says they need to put it in the air, and we agree.
Double wide out. Hooper looking over the field. Again, he misfire. Nobody's there. Hooper tries to bring the football up the field, and again, he's short, and they're going to have to punt.
Well, you know, this late in the season, you hate to see an offensive team struggle like they are, but that was basically a broken play. Yeah. The quarterback turned, and there was nobody there, so it's kind of a miscue, and that's brought up 4th and about 5, and Jenison's got a punt again.
It all goes back to the we had Jenison, I should say, had second and short. Now they have 4th and 5. They're back to punt.
Well, again, too, Jenison is keeping it close to the vest, and they're not opening it up, and they're playing right into the hands, I think, of Rockford's defense.
Back number 23 for Rockford to receive the punt.
Herman's got some pressure. Oh, just gets it off.
Courtney
Young. Good defense by Jenison on the coverage. Comes down, but again, Rockford's got good field position. I can't quite tell from where we are.
Chris Laddick, 61 on the tackle for the Wildcats.
But they must be about their 40-yard line.
I hate to keep harping on the same thing, but you cannot afford to make the penalty, have the penalties in a playoff game with a team like Rockford. You just can't have the make the mistakes.
We'll get a good chance now to look at Jenison's defense from the backside of it, and we'll see how Dan Richard comes against them. He has been throwing the football a lot. He's got a single setback, and again, he's spread out with a man in motion. Hands off the ball straight up the middle, and Jenison, for the most part, has stopped that.
Yes, they have. They've done a nice job stopping the offensive run, but Rockford has got a lot of weapons right now.
Brought down by Matt Waring at 37 from his inside linebacker position.
Second down and about 8 yards to go for the Wildcats. You know, the other thing is, in just observing the Wildcats, it doesn't look like there's the emotion on the sidelines and the emotion in the players for a game of this magnitude for some reason. Wildcats are spread out on defense. Dan Richards is going to look back. He finds his man,
Adam
hits him.
Oaks wide open again. Brought down by Boheis, number 9, on the tackle. But again, Adam Oaks breaks open.
We'll see how the yardage looks. It looks like he's going to be short about 3 yards. Third down, a big third down again. Jenison's had a number of third down important
plays. Yeah, they sure
plays.
have.
There's a replay. Watch number 13 on if you can see 13 break open. The quarterback never takes his eyes off it. Missed a tackle. Picked up 3 more yards after the missed tackle.
Well, Jenison's trying to make a few things happen. That time they took snip right up the middle, blitzed the quarterback. The Rockford offensive line did a nice job stopping him, and the quarterback's had a lot of time to throw tonight.
Phil Beamer sort of steps up, and he'll pick that first man through. First man through right there.
Well, I don't think he got it.
Nope, quarterback keeps it, and he's going to be short.
And they're going to punt. That was a nice defensive stop by
Boheis.
Jenison.
Boheis on the stop. Here's a replay.
Yeah, you can see they take it up the middle. The quarterback keeps the ball, and Jenison really did a nice job to stop that play, and it's still 4th and about 3. And this is what Jenison needed.
David Ruxo.
Sample back deep to receive along on the near side, on the far side. Number 9, we can't. Oh, is that Randall?
Number one. Himmelholt.
Number 1 is Himmelholt. The All-State punter, David Reisko, back to kick on approximately the 30, 45. I can't see 30-yard line. Is it?
Legal procedure. Jenison picks up 5.
I'll tell you what.
But with this young man kicking down, it's like
we saw him 3 weeks ago kick a 90-yarder.
Oh.
Watch this ball. If he catches it, he can put it in the end zone without any problem.
Yeah, it seems like the receivers are up a little bit. They should be back about 10 yards.
Yeah,
watch his style.
It'll go over their head.
Ooh, good penetration. Good penetration.
Let it go. Just let it go.
Oh, they got the roll. They got the roll. Jenison gets in good penetration, and yet he still gets a good kickoff.
He did.
Down to the 15-yard line with 7:08 to go in the second quarter. This gives the Wildcats an opportunity to come back out here and see if they can't establish a ground game or possibly put the ball up in the air. But last time they were down here, they ran number 30, Mitch Harriman, right up the middle the first time for 15 yards, the second time for 8, and then they misfired. So let's see if they can't get Harriman loose again this time.
Yeah.
Let's see if they open it up a little bit. They got to get these linebackers backing up a little bit, get Harriman up the middle. See what happens. Hooper, first man through again. Harriman picks up 5 quick ones.
5 quick ones. You know, it seems like Jenison's trying to stick with the game plan, get a little momentum going on their side, and get into their offensive scheme. And with a guy like Harriman in the backfield, all it takes is one time for him to break one. And he's playing a good game, and the offensive is doing all right, other than a few miscues and a few penalties. So the score could be a lot worse than 7-zip right now.
The only thing, the one observation I would make is that unless they put the ball in the air occasionally, they're going to start to just play the run, and you're not going to be, well, this time we have Gregorski 80 wide out right.
C.J. Hooper looking things over. Again, he fakes it, gives it to the first man through again, which is pretty basic what they're doing, and picks up a couple more tough yards.
He brings up another long third down play, too.
They're using the wideouts as a sort of a decoy to spur out the defense to run the ball up the middle, and that time they picked up about 2 yards is all.
You know, they must either know something that we don't know, because they've been pounding that center like he's not there, and he's there. He's there stopping.
They may have picked up something in the film from last week, because I know Brother Rice ran the ball very effectively against Rockford up the middle last week.
Well, let's see how Harriman and Hooper can do here. He's got the option going. Let's see if he pitches. He does pitch it up to number 10. Campo picks up a first down.
Boy, if we get a replay on that, guys, it was a nice offensive play. Half the Rockford team bit on that fake. Nicely executed play.
He had one-on-one, and that's sort of beautiful when you can come down the line and you're looking.
Here's a look at it.
Watch him. He's looking the corner, right in the eye, right there.
Boy, good camera work. That was a nice fake inside, and the whole defensive line for Rockford took it, and that's, I guess, setting up that inside play for the pitch outside.
5:51 to go in the second quarter. Jenison picks up a first down, trying to put some things together to get down the field. Double wide out on the left. Hooper again.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
looks like another fumble, loose ball.
boy, that's just being careless right there.
A lot of Rams are pointing down this way that they have the ball, but we don't know. It's the referee is a
and the
fumble.
Rams pick it up. Again, Jenison fumbles the ball.
Another misfire. Number 58 for the Rams on the recovery. The linebacker Luke Bactus. We can see a replay. You'll see that there was no hole there on the right side of the line. I don't know if we have it queued up or not. But
look at the replay. You'll see they bump each other as he hands it off.
Yeah, they did. Another miscue.
Yep.
Well, here's the replay. Watch. There's no hole.
Right there. You see him hit him and he turns.
Well, the Rams have a golden opportunity with 5 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the half on about the 35-yard line to put another 6 up on the board. He's going right to the air.
And he's got him wide open. He's got one man to beat. No corner over there, and he's picking up some yardage and running through some people down to the 9-yard line.
If you see a replay, you'll see that Beamer didn't have anyone within 5 to 10 yards of him. He was just wide open, rolling out to his right. Watch Dan Richards roll his right. Nobody.
Well, he gets penetration. Number 9 has to roll out, and their defense, the defensive backs just didn't roll up.
No, they sure didn't. He was 5 yards behind the nearest man, and that could have easily been 7 points.
Well, let's see if Jenison can stiffen up right here. You got not quite first and goal. It might be. Depends on where the ball is spotted.
They're right on the 10.
And there's going to look maybe some holding. Maybe Jenison can luck out right here and get a penalty.
I'll tell you one thing. They may luck out on stopping on the rush, but the kicker is very capable of kicking a field goal from here.
Looks like there's some movement on the right side of the Rockford line. Looks like the Rockford tight end moved, and you know, it's too bad for the Jenison team. You can see right now, as close as we are to them, they look down right now. These guys have got to step up and at least hold them to a field goal.
You look at the bench too. There's no emotion.
Yep.
Nothing's coming out of there.
Come on, guys. This is time to stand up and make a stand.
Yeah, let's see if Dan rolls out and tries to go at that pass again. Man in motion, which the man threw in across.
Good play. Nice play, Wieringa.
37 comes through and does a very nice job, Matt Wieringa.
Matt Wieringa is at 73 tackles on the year. He leads the Wildcats just behind Todd Snipp. The two linebackers, actually Snipp with 75 stops on the year, Matt Wieringa with 73. So the defense, the heart of the defense, are the two inside linebackers.
Number 7, Dave Reddo is coming in, and 30, Harriman goes out. That's unusual.
Well, Harriman goes both offensively and defensively, and even though it's a cool night and it's probably a better night for the players than it is for the announcers as far as the weather, it's easy when you're up and running. You need a little blow, and so he's got to take a little break because he's been running the ball almost every carry, and he's playing.
Right now, the Rams took time out. They're going to talk it over because this is a very important series of downs. They've got backed up here a little bit. They had, I believe, either was first and goal, was it?
Yeah, it was. It was first and goal right on the 10-yard line, and then they had the 5-yard penalty.
So Ralph Munger's talking it over right now, and I'm sure Jenison's defensive coach is trying to figure out a way to stop this. This would not be good if they score. The way Jenison's playing, this will be a tough mountain to climb.
Well, unfortunately for the Jenison defense, they've been on the field for a good portion of this game, and that's something that's got to change. And the momentum of this game has got to come back to the Jenison side by the defense standing up right now and making a play.
But the only way, Steve, they can do that is to keep from dropping the ball, fumbling the ball, and having the offensive penalties they've been having.
Yep.
They've got to maintain possession of the ball and not have the mistakes just late in the season. The big tight end, 87, breaks out over the left side over here, so I look for him possibly to be a receiver on this play. I could put the ball up with
Jenison looking for a pass, and it's going to be a pass right now. Richards got a guy in the corner. You got to come up and make that tackle, and he misses the tackle, and they pick up some nice yardage.
No first down. They had first and goal from the 10, so there's not going to be a first down on that play. But the big tight end, 87, did go over and spot himself on the left side of the line, and he was a receiver. We can see it from up here.
Yeah, they've got
replay.
Watch this. I think Radel, number 7, could have, if he'd been watching the football, 37, excuse me, Wieringa, could have maybe picked or batted it down, but he had his back turned.
Yep.
I'll say this for number 37. He hasn't missed many tackles all year, so you have to allow a mistake here and there. So that brings up the 3rd and about 7 from the 7-yard line. with 3:22 in the half.
Big play, as we've said it again. Right now, let's watch him. We're right down in front of him. Looking again, it's going to come right up through the middle. Can they? Good fake. He's got a man, and he's open, and it's touchdown.
Bill Beamer, number 40 on the reception. Nice fake by the quarterback. Dan Richards had the ball in his hip. The Wildcats didn't put any pressure on him, and you might see a replay here. Let's see if we can rewind it.
Watch
no
Beamer.
Pressure.
Beamer did a beautiful job.
Yeah, and you know, Richards really did kind of made a basketball move, the ball around his back, and made a nice fake, and the receiver was basically wide open.
Yep.
You'll see Greenland, number 56, on the extra point attempt.
We did this in high school one time when we were playing, only we hiked the football from that position.
Ran
it.
Number 17, the holder, that would be Dan Richards, the quarterback, obviously. Sets it down.
And it looks good. Looks good, and it is good. Right now, the Rams take a lead, 14-0, and the Jenison Wildcats really are struggling. Got 3 minutes and 9 seconds to go as we come close to the end of the first half, and Rockford Rams put a nice march together.
Well, actually, Roger,
they turned a fumble,
It was precipitated by the turnover on about the 35-yard line down here, and then they had the nice big play over here with the pass play down to the 10-yard line, then the miscue, they brought it back a little bit to the 15 or 20, then they put the big tight end in out here. Todd, he brought it down to about the 8.
Well, the one thing, too, Don, that they did is they overcame a deficit with the pass, and then a good team does that.
That's right, and right now,
they did.
You know, this is a totally different Ram team we saw 3 weeks ago. It was a 7-6 ball game, Rams defeating the Wildcats. However, the Wildcats had an opportunity to win the game late in the game. They were down on the 3-yard line and ran a wide sweep, fumbled the ball, and it was a Rockford victory.
You know, one of the best things that could have happened to Rockford last week, they were in the playoffs when they won the last week's game, but Brother Rice came in and really played a great football game, and I'll tell you what, it woke Rockford up, and you can tell they came out and they're ready to play tonight.
Yeah, they're jacked up.
Well, the Jenison Wildcats have 3 minutes to see if they can put something together to get some momentum going. And the fans have to get into this game a little bit. They have to give some support to these guys and see if they can't turn this around a little bit. Anything right now would be positive.
That's returnable.
Number 7, Dave Radel.
Radel driven out of bounds into the middle of the Jenison defenders, driven out by Tracy Branch, 62.
Boy, Tracy Branch came up and made a block. I don't know if we have that, but Tracy Branch came up and made a block on 2 Rockford guys and basically sent them about 5 yards backwards on their tail end. Let's see if we can get a look at it on the replay here. If you don't see it, you might hear it, but you can see he was finishing them off right there. Tracy, nice block.
Well, we've got a little emotion in there. Number 62 for Jenison is getting fired up. Tracy Branch.
Right.
He says, let's go, guys. Let's put this thing together now.
Well done, Tracy.
The ball on the 38-yard line with about 3 minutes to go in the half. See if the Wildcats can't get one down there in a hurry.
Well, this is the time now. You talk about opening it up. Here's a time, good opportunity for the Wildcats to open up that offense.
Double wide out on the left. Again, they're going to go to Harriman, and he comes up through the middle again, trying to pick up some yardage.
They just don't seem to want to put that ball in the air. There must be something, because when they played, here's a replay. Harriman up the middle, number 30, the workhorse. He picked up about 8 good yards, 8 tough yards.
That number 75 for Rockford is just submarining the center, and he's trying to just clog it up. I mean, it's
75 is 6'1",
basic.
195. Jacob Scott.
Chad Samples up back. We're going to option. He options out, and let's see if he can turn the corner a little bit and picks up a few yards. And no timeout. Yes, I guess they're going to call timeout.
No, nice thing. No, he ran out of bounds, Roger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to stop the clock here.
Yeah, they don't have to call. They can save some timeouts.
Yeah.
It's a replay. Fake up the middle. Number 10's going to take the pitch on about the 40 and take it down about 15 or 20 yards.
Well,
and driven out of bounds right
36 for Rockford, the defensive end. Really did a nice job. Well coached and well performed there. Strung that play out all the way to the out of bounds.
Yes, Tony Savek is a two-way starter. He's a halfback and also defensive end for the Rams.
1st and 10. Let's see if Jenison can keep it going. Hooper looking over the defense. Fakes to the first man through, keeps it. Let's see if he does keep it and runs into his own man.
Also run the clock down too. You would think, guys, that the Wildcats would send out a receiver
much. I don't know what CJ's looking at, but here he's got a guy, and he's got his trailer right there, 10 sample.
Good sample.
Again, they're hustling it up a little bit, trying to get these plays off. 1 minute and 34 seconds to go. Double wide out to the right.
Again,
first man through. Harriman picks up some good yardage, and he gets stopped.
Harriman's looking to get out of bounds, and he does go out of bounds. That's a good heads-up play by 30, Mitch Harriman, the junior. Gets the ball and takes it about 10 yards down the field, and then starts looking for the sidelines, knowing he's got to stop the clock.
I think he's out around the 30-yard line, so we've got about 30 yards to go to see if we can get in there.
Watch him get hit and then start looking for the sidelines. He knows he's got to stop the clock.
Yeah, good heads-up play.
Yep.
Smart play.
Jenison's getting a few things going, and they're staying on the ground.
Yeah, they are.
There's a timeout.
Now we got timeout. Minute and 22 seconds to go, and a timeout on the field right now, and see if Jenison can put some things together here to get in the end zone. Very, very important.
This would be a good opportunity for the Wildcats to establish a little bit of confidence that they could get down and at least pick up either a field goal or a score and make this thing a 14-7 ball game or a 14-3. I hate to see them go into the half down 14-0. On the other hand, I'm sure the Rams would be happy to take a 14 lead going into halftime.
Yeah, against Rockford, it's going to be tough to come back. Not that it can't be done, but it will be tough to come back from a 14-point deficit. Jenison's got to settle in here, really put together an offensive scheme to get them in to the end zone.
They've got 1st and 10. I think the ball is spotted on what line?
Looks like about the 33.
33-yard line. So, well,
this is the first game in the state tournaments tonight, in the AA high school tournaments, and it's the regional semifinals. And the winner tonight, either if Jenison wins, they stay home. If Rockford wins, they stay home.
Right. They would play either Midland or Grand Ledge.
Here we go.
There's the pitch.
Hooper pitches out to Sample.
Sample a little tentative on the.
We're going to get maybe a face mask.
Could be a late hit too. Number 10 was down, and I think he could be a late hit.
Listen, isn't this terrible? We're groping for anything we can get.
watch if we could. There's a pitch. There's a missed tackle about 42.
Got a hold of his face mask, Roger. You were right, and that's going to help the Wildcats. That's another first down.
Roger has those young eyes. He can see down the angle. He's got those good angle eyes.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, we need anything to get closer to that end zone right now. The way things are going. Well, maybe Branch is right. You got to get these guys fired up. He came out there on that field raising his hands and say, hey, guys, let's get going here.
Yep.
The ball down on the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. That's the first down for the that's a big break for the Wildcats. Let's see if they can capitalize and punch one in before we run out of time with 1:11 to go in the half.
Hooper looks things over. Got 2 setbacks, double wide outs. He's going back to pass. This time he gets a rush. He escapes the rush. He's got a man open, and he throws it out of bounds.
Heads up play by C.J. Hooper, just throwing the ball out of bounds when there's no receiver in the area.
Yeah, that won't hurt Jenison at all. They didn't use up much time off the clock, and he made his heads up play, threw the ball away. And what that does is that opens up the Rockford defense a little bit. Nice evasive move to get away from a long sack, too.
You had lost 15 or 20 yards in that play.
Yep.
Hey, the Jenison crowd's really coming alive here. They're getting behind these guys. They need to get into the end zone now. They're getting some support.
Dawkins and Harriman of setbacks. Hooper again looking things over. Harriman's got the ball up the middle, and he's bouncing around like a ball in there.
At the 7-yard line. Harriman is running hard. That was a hard run. That's a tough 7 yards up the middle.
Again, plenty of time not to panic. This is exactly what happened last game.
Here's a replay. Watch number 30 just busting tackles. He must have broken 3 tackles down to the 7-yard line. That's all Mitch Harriman there.
They got plenty of time, and they have their timeouts yet to go. So stay in control here, fellas. Hooper again looking things over. He's got double setback. Harriman's got the football, and he's going to go, and he's going in that end zone.
Beautiful.
And he is in the end zone. Wildcats score with 40 seconds to go in the second quarter.
It's about a 60-yard drive. If you remember, there was a short squib kick on the kickoff, which set up Jenison Wildcat good field position.
Watch the replay if you can get it come back here. Just a good determination by Harriman to get in that end zone.
Here it is. Number 30 just breaking tackles again like he did the previous play, and just throws the ball in the end zone and scores the 6 points with 40 seconds to go in the quarter.
This is a very important by Eric Anderson. And let's see what happens. No good.
No good.
No good.
That's deja vu, boys.
Here we are. Man. How, boy.
Well, I'll say this. The kick was no good, but that's a good morale booster and confidence booster for the Wildcats. We took the ball. I shouldn't say we. Here's a replay.
Let's get a look at what happened on this play.
It's set down nice, and he just
he bounced it over the goalpost.
Yeah, he
missed
sure
it
did.
about 2 feet, about a foot and a half.
Well, listen, we're back in this game, and that's what counts. We can do a lot of things. We're down by 8, and we'll see what happens. Well, we have 40 seconds to go, and the Wildcats got to come play a little defense, because I would think that our man Richard is going to put the ball in the air if they get decent field position.
We just want to say we look forward to WCET broadcasting this game into Jenison, Granville, Hudsonville, but we also understand that we'll be having this broadcast into the Rockford, Cedar Springs area, and so we want to say hi to those folks as well tonight.
They are starting their program for their cable TV up in this area, so we wish them all the luck, and I'm sure they'll be doing their telecasts next year in football, and we'll get into basketball.
So the Wildcats get a little nice drive, 60-yard drive. Nice hard running by Mitch Harriman to mentally help a little bit.
Adam White has his hand up.
Jenison may try a squib kick here.
89, Adam White, the punter. I didn't have to piece the kickoff, man. Number 89, the kickoff.
Yeah, let's see how what he does right here.
Adam White, number 89, will kick off to the Wildcats.
Do you want to try and squib this and give him field position? Or you want to kick it deep?
See what he does.
He's going to keep it on the ground. Good pickup by the Rams. Looking for a little opening, and the Wildcats cover
Nice
him.
play. Nice special teams play by Jenison.
Last man up, number 20, or one of the last men up, number 20 for the Wildcats would be Scott Phillips. He doesn't get a lot of opportunity, but he made the good of that one. Here's a replay.
Richard.
Adam White just squibs it down there. Rams just take it up the dead center.
Nice tackle. Nice tackle by number 20 for the Wildcats.
Well, let's see if the Wildcats put a little pressure on the quarterback with blitzing a linebacker, or if they I'd be stepping back a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to let one of those receivers behind you at this point, because Richards has the arm strength to get it down the field.
He's got the wind at his back, too. He's probably got about a 10 to 15 mile wind behind his back.
If I was Dave Radel, I would be concerned.
You want to keep your eye on Phil Beamer. He's done a lot of damage, and also number 13 for the Rams, that would be Mike Oakes, has received a couple of passes as well. They've broken open quite nicely a couple of times. What the Wildcats need to do now, if he goes back to pass, is send Waringa or the other linebacker, Todd Snip, and put some pressure on this kid.
Yep. Up the middle, and he's got a little running room, and he's going to be slowed down in there by Jenison, but that takes a few seconds off the clock, 28 seconds to go, but we just cannot let yardage like this happen.
Brought down by Tracy Brandt, 62, the guard.
Let's see if Dan Richard goes back to pass or rolls out. He's got some time.
Rockford's got the ball to Jenison 48 now.
He is going back to pass. He's looking for an out right now. He's got it. He's throwing it away.
Yep.
He threw that ball into the second deck of the stands over here.
Good play by the quarterback, Richard, to throw it away and just stop the clock. Gives him 19 seconds to go. I don't know if they have a field goal kicker. I don't know, Steve.
They do. They do. Adam White, number, let's see, no, I'm sorry, Greenland, Luke Greenland, 56, Roger, has got a strong leg. We've seen him kick a few field goals, and they have a good kicking game out of Rockford. The punter is the All-Stater, and 56, the extra point man and kickoff man, strong leg.
Strong leg, but he's going to need a little help from the offense to get him into position.
Dan Richards back to pass. He's got some pressure, and he gets hit.
33.
Let's see if he throws it away.
Boy, how he got out of that sack, I don't know, because 33 for Jenison had him wrapped up.
Dustin Manning.
Looks like there might have been a personal foul here.
Well, let's see if he's downing the ball.
Could call intentional drowning.
Yes,
that's
he
what
sure
they're
did.
calling.
He was definitely
wrapped up
in the grasp here, and he just let it go out of bounds.
That's a good heads-up play by Dustin Manning, and the quarterback, Dan Richards, trying to get away with a little something there, throwing the ball like he did, and he got caught for it. So they lose it down and the distance.
Well, Ralph, if I were you, I'd put the knee down and let's leave.
Yeah.
You know what, though? We've got 12 seconds. There's nothing to hurt them to just send somebody deep. This kid's got the good arm, and Adam Oakes has got speed. They've shown that they can get receivers open.
Well, let's see what happens. Let's see if he
it's high school football. Might as well have some fun
takes the knees down. Yeah, if he ran it back or got it back, you'd not be happy. Oh, there's a little too much time, or somebody's doing something wrong. Head linesman saw something.
It's against the Rams, I believe.
Rams again. Yep, in motion.
5 yards. Brings up about a 3rd and 20.
Well, you know the momentum of a game is funny. I mean, here Rockford came out and really took control of the game. The momentum was on their side, and slowly Jenison now has sort of picked a little of that momentum back up.
Let's hope they can carry it through the halftime.
Yep.
You sound like you're from Jenison, you guys.
Well, we'd like to see a good game, and then maybe Jenison might eke it out at the end, right?
There goes number 40 with the ball right up the middle. You better bring him down. He got hit.
Beamer. And it looks like the clock is going to expire right about now, as that's the end of the first half, and exciting football. Rockford has done an outstanding job in this first half. Jenison came back with a spurt. And Steve, if you want to recap the scoring there.
Well, yeah, quite quickly. The Rams actually scored first in the second quarter with 3:09 remaining in the second quarter. Richards made a pass to Beamer down here on our side of the field with a 2nd and 7 play, and they scored on a pass play. And then Jenison did an outstanding job, brought the ball back, and Herma scored on a 9-yard run with 40 seconds left in the half to bring the score to 14-6. However, the extra point was no good, and that's where the score stands right now at half. Rockford 14 and Jenison 6.
We'll be back after a short timeout as the band performs here at Rockford, and we'll be back shortly.
Hi, this is Ray Bentley. When I want to watch local high school sports, I tune into Channel 50 WCET.
Welcome back to the second half of the Class AA tournament football game tonight at Ted Carlson Memorial Stadium. The Jenison Wildcats are on the short side right now, 14-6 to the Rockford Rams. And I'm sure Tony Anise at halftime, Steve and Don, has tried to figure out how he can get his troops a little more motivated. And I'm sure Ralph Munger from the Rockford Rams wants to keep things going. He's done a nice job in the air. And if he can tie in a little of the running game, he'll have a sort of a complete team in this second half.
I think that if I remember correctly, the Wildcats will have to kick off. Am I right or wrong about that on the to start the second half here? I can't remember.
Jenison kicked off to start the game.
Okay, so then maybe we'll see a opportunity by the Wildcats to take the ball over and even the score up here pretty quickly.
Well, you know, Rockford, they've done a nice job tonight of mixing up their offensive plays. They've spread the defense out a little bit, and when they have had the ball, they've moved it well. And the same could be said for Jenison on the last series of plays. Jenison had about a 60-yard drive to cap off a touchdown right before the half. So I think the second half is going to shape up to be an outstanding football game.
My name is Roger York, and along with Don Peterson and Steve Peterson, we're going to bring you the second half of this state tournament game. And in our comments at halftime, we were talking a little bit about momentum and how the Rockford Rams really came out the first quarter and got the momentum going and sort of carried over to the second. And Jenison stole some of that momentum right there at the end. And
they sure did.
We'll see what happens at the start of this third quarter.
Well, it's an old cliche, but one half to go. One of these teams is going to go on, and one team is going to stay home.
One of them will meet either the winner of Grand Ledge or Midland, and the other one goes back to Jim and turns in their football helmets and pads, huh?
Yeah.
Well, deep for the Wildcats, ready to receive is number 30, Mitch Herma, the young man who scored the touchdown, and here we go.
Greenland hits the ball from his 30-40, and down it goes. He's picked up by Chris Sample. First Ram down on top of him, 56. The kicker, Luke Greenland, makes a stop, kicks off and makes a stop.
And the Wildcats are going to have a fair position to start with right now. About it's hard to see where we're located with our cameras, but it looks about the 25-yard line.
We've got two monitors on top there. We have one large monitor and one smaller monitor, so it's a nice setup. It's just difficult to see the players themselves from here.
Looks like Rockford's gone into a even defense, a four-man front, and that's going to throw off a little of that running game unless they adapt. And right now, Rockford made a nice stop right in that first play.
Yeah, they did. You know, if you notice, the Rockford special teams have done a nice job tonight. Their kicker has definitely kept the ball away from Mitch Herma on the kickoffs, and Jenison's had some tough field position to start out with.
Aaron Dawkins, 27. Watch here, Aaron Dawkins right off the left side of the line, and he's stopped by several Rams. There's like 5 Rams.
We got 2 setbacks behind C.J. Hooper. Mitch Harriman, 30. Aaron Dawkins, number 27. Going back to pass. Hooper's got it, throws it out, and throws it over the sidelines. Incomplete.
Well, he didn't complete the pass, but at least he's given the Rams a look that they can throw the ball. That's the first time they put the ball up the entire game.
Yeah, Hooper, he's a well-rounded quarterback. He's got a good arm, as you could see there. He threw the ball well over any receiver, but it was a nice thrown ball, and he's got good foot speed, and he's a tough runner. So,
as I said earlier, he's 36 for 77 in passing. He's only thrown 1 interception all year. He's got 7 TD passes, and he's had 665 yards throwing the ball. So let's see the ball go in the air a little bit here.
Big play for Jenison right now. 3rd and about 7 to go for a first down. And they need to keep this momentum going to carry over. He's going to option the ball. Let's see if he keeps it. He pitches it out. He looks like he's got a little running room.
Aaron Dawkins carries the ball down, and number 11 for the Rams, bringing him down, Andy Seagard.
Let's see where they mark this football. And I don't see anybody coming off the Jenison bench to kick, so maybe he picked up the first down. Very difficult for us to see.
They might have to measure. He's got 4th and about a yard, it looks like.
He's a little tentative. C.J. Hooper sort of figured out what to do. He sort of freezes 42. 42 gets frozen. Steve Mikulak didn't know whether to go after the quarterback or go to the trailer.
4th down right now, and it looks like Jenison's throwing caution to the wind.
I'll tell you what, it's 4th and short, and if they're going to they may go for a long. It's 4th and 2. They'll go for a long punt and pull them off sides.
Now, last time we played each other, there was a quick kick. Let's see what happens. Could be. Aram is going to bust up the middle. Let's see if he can get it. And I don't know.
I don't think he got that. They're going to call timeout, the referees are.
Well, Rockford sure does seem like they made a stop here. I don't know if they're going to measure this or not, but it looks like Jenison just turned the ball over.
No, it's going to be Rockford's football right there.
We have a Jenison player down on the field. We can't pick up his number from here.
Looks like number 11 for the Wildcats is down.
That'd be Sean Cheyenne.
Hey, well, you know what? You make your calls, you live with them, and you give it your best. If I have a fullback like Mitch Harriman in my backfield, I have no hesitation calling that same play.
Right.
Hats off to Rockford. Nice defensive stop.
Well, the big thing, too, is if you do make it, you
get
get your team excited, you get it into the game. So
That's
he
right.
took a gamble.
Number 8 was the first man on top of that one for the Rams. Number 8, that Mike Lundberg, inside linebacker at 6'2", 195, plugged up the hole. And big break for the Rams, and they make their own breaks when they make those stops like that. But it's a gutsy call, and I like to see that from Tony Anise's Wildcats, second-year coach out of Ann Arbor, going for 4th and short from about the 35-yard line. It's difficult to see where we are, but gutsy call.
Well, a lot of pressure right now on the Jenison defense.
Yeah.
And if Rockford can score, this momentum is going to just flicker right out. And so right now Jenison needs to really make a tough stand right here. Have to come away with no points or even a field goal.
Well, every game has big plays, and at the end of this game, you can look back and at that 4th and 2 call. And hey, again, it's one of those things. You make the call and you live with it. Had it worked out, it would have been a great momentum builder. And now, if Jenison can just put up a nice defensive stand here, it won't really matter.
If you look at the season, Jenison really had a nice season. They started out with a nice victory over Hudsonville. Hudsonville, having won their conference play, and the OK White is in regional play tonight, actually tomorrow at Granville. But they started out with a 29-12 victory over Hudsonville. Then they defeated the Granville, East Kentwood, West Ottawa, Grand Haven, Holland, Rockford. They were defeated by Rockford. They went over and defeated Monterey Shore 28-8, and then finished up with a big loss to Muskegon 25-34.
Number 11, Sean Shine, was the young man who was taken off the field. He seems to be okay, so here we are. Rockford's going to try and ram it down Jenison's throat right now and pick up another 7 points, and let's see if Jenison can meet the task. Little reverse, little fake, double fake. You got to stay with your man. He has. Let's see if they can do it. And he intercepts the football. It looks like he intercepted it. No. Incomplete. Oh, boy. Fantastic defensive play.
Nice look at number 10 for the Wildcats. Boy, he made a nice defensive play.
This would be a
Sample.
Chad Sample made a nice defensive play. Actually, I think Chad caught this ball. Let's see if we can get a look at it and find out. Boy, I was faked out. I had a reverse red all the way, but
let's see if he makes the. Ooh.
Boy, the referee was right on that, so you got to believe the ref made the right call.
Well, Rockford spread out. We did this in high school one time. Watch him now. He's going to throw this downfield.
Like there's a penalty on the play.
The center, as you know, becomes a receiver.
That's
because
right.
he's on the end of the line.
Nice stop by Dave Rattle.
There's a flag on the play, so let's see.
Radel. Let's say Radel. Dave Radel on that stop.
Was there a flag on that, Steve?
Yes, it looked like there's a flag on the play. A side judge might have had someone lined up off sides.
When you spread people
illegal
that far.
procedure, yeah. Right, that's true, but I think it looks like illegal procedure by the Rams, so that play's going to come back.
Well, I like to see that play again. That was a very good defensive play by Sample. And the referee, if you really look where he's at, he's not in position to see the other way if he did bounce it off the ground.
Right.
But he was down there, and he's going to make a call, and he made the call, and we live with it.
That's right. So now we're back to second down and about 15.
Now the Wildcats seem to be having a little more emotion on the sidelines. The players are getting into it. They're trying to pick these guys up, and we need a little penetration. Mr. Dan Richards can really pick you apart if he gets a chance, and there goes the fullback, number 40, Phil Beamer. Picks up 5 yards, so it's going to be third down. Big play right here.
Third and long. This has been Rockford's best play all year long, third and long play. Look for Dan Richards to put the ball in the air again. He's got some nice receivers, and
we sort of feel that he's going to put the pressure on our defensive backs here.
Yeah.
He's going to spread people out. He's got a setback. Number 40, Phil Beamer, as protection.
There's an opportunity to send a linebacker through. You're going to throw the ball.
Straight back. He's got a blitz coming in, and he's got screen pay. Screen pass. He's got people in front, and
Phil Beamer doing the damage again, but the pressure put on by Scott Dawes, number 88 for the Wildcats, forces the pass. However, they set up the screen pass to another
first
half
down.
a second. Here's a replay. Watch the pressure coming from the left side of the right side. That's Dodds. And then Beamer picks up the ball on about the 30-yard line and carries it in there.
Good call, good play calling. Had the defense spread way out and ran a screen play up the middle, caught Jenison off guard. Nice play by the Rockford team.
Excellent call by the coaching staff. See if the Rockford Rams can punch this in. They're getting down closer and closer. Handoff into Beamer, number 40. Wildcats stack it up inside.
Last man up off the pile, Dustin Manning, 33, 6'1", 205. Playing a tackle position, or defensive end position, I should say.
Second down, about 8 yards to go.
Boy, it's a good look at Adam Keefe at 6'6", 278 pounds. That's a big offensive tackle for the Rams, and he's doing a nice job on the offensive line.
Big play here for the Rams if they can punch it down in close, and they do have a field goal kicker if they can't quite get it in. So, again, they have people spread out. Richard fakes to his left. He's going to run to his right. Can he get any pursuit? He's going to have some open running room. Let's see if he can get in. And he gets taken down and goes out of bounds just short of the touchdown.
Brought down by number 44 for the Wildcats, Todd Snip, but he had all day to throw the ball.
Yeah, he did. Nice job by the Rockford offensive line. He had all day to throw. As you can see by the replay here, he's got all day to throw. He's able to look at 1, 2, and 3 receivers and decides just to go ahead and run it. Turns it up the corner, makes a nice gain.
And it's got about 4 yards to go for a touchdown. So the Rams are getting close. See if the Wildcats can stiffen up right here. Got a pro set in the backfield. Number 20 carries the football, Chris Maxim, and does not get in the end zone.
Again, 71, Todd Gregg, our last man up off the pile, along with 52, Ryan Smoes at 6'1", 210.
Right now, it's very difficult for us to see where they are. We're just looking on our monitor because we're at the other end of the football field.
Yeah.
So I believe they're probably about a yard short here of a touchdown.
It's 2nd and 5.
Is it 2nd and 5?
Second and 5.
Okay.
Steve Mikulek goes in motion.
Fakes the handoff. He rolls out to his left. He's got a man wide open, and this has been open all day long.
Steve Mikulek wide open in the end zone for an easy score there. He was going in motion to his left. If you see a replay, you'll see Steve go in motion to his left. No one follows him into the end zone, and he's all alone. Watch 42. Just drag along to the left. No one, no responsibility on 42.
Nope. Nobody checks him at the line of scrimmage, and he gets himself open. The Rams pick up 6 more, and let's watch them as they go after this extra point.
Greenland back to kick. Dan Richards, the holder.
Snaps back, and he just skirts it inside, and it's going to be good. The Rockford Rams 21, the Jenison Wildcats 6.
I guess the gutsy call, which and I still say was a gutsy call that the Wildcats attempted with 4th and about 1 from about their own 35, 40-yard line, didn't happen. But had it happened, it would have been a big boost for the Wildcats. But it turns out that the Rams again take an opportunity and run the ball 40 yards into the end zone and use up a little bit of clock here. We have 7 and change to go in the 3rd quarter. Rams on top, 21-6, first round of the Division AA playoffs. Winner of this game goes on to meet either Grand Ledge or Midland next Friday night.
Well, let's see how this affects Jenison right now. See if their Daubers are down, or if they can put another drive together. If they can score in this quarter, they're right back in this game.
Absolutely,
again.
And you guys have seen Jenison play enough to know this year they have a very potent offensive attack, and they could get right back into this game very quickly. Rockford's got to stand up now and stop them and run the clock out of the 3rd quarter and into the 4th quarter.
Harriman, number 30, back in the center of the field, waiting for the kickoff. Sample, number 10, last time ran it back, and it looks like it's going to number 10 again. Sample takes the kick and looks for his wedge and comes up to about the 30-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, the Rockford special teams have done a great job. The kickers put the ball basically in the same spot on every kickoff. They pinch the Wildcat receiver down into that corner, and basically stopping him well back into their own playing field.
Well, they use their 12th man, which is the sidelines, to keep him in check.
Contained in. They've done a nice job, and they definitely don't want to kick the ball to Harriman tonight.
Ball on the 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's an opportunity now for the Wildcats to get a little momentum going here. With the wind at their back here in the 3rd quarter, they'll be going into the wind in the 4th quarter.
Hooper pitches it out. Let's see if this Harriman can skirt around, and he picks up a few yards. Let's see if they're setting up a little play. Pitched it out. Let's see if they pitch and come back up through the middle with a little counter play on the next series. See if they're setting something up. 6:46 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Rams have taken a somewhat comfortable lead, 21-6 right now. Trying to put it together on defense and stop the Wildcats. Got 2 setbacks for the Wildcats, 2 wideouts. Hooper comes down the line, pitches it to number 30, Harriman. Let's see if he can turn the corner.
Harriman driven out of bounds by Andy Seagard, number 11, driving him out of bounds.
1st down, Wildcats.
Yeah, Eric Groski for the Wildcats did a nice job, number 80. Contained his guy, stuck with his block, and opened up a little extra yardage for Harriman to make that 1st down. So nice blocking by the Jenison receiver.
We're right behind the PA announcement system here, so you probably can pick out those scores like we can as they rattle them off here.
Hooper spreads things out a little bit. 2 setbacks. 1st man through. Gets the ball. He's got to throw it down the field. Oh!
That was the first time that that C.J. Hooper had all kinds of time to throw the ball. There was a fake up the middle. If we see a replay, you'll see that it was a fake up the middle. It froze the defense. Little play action. He wants to play action here. The fake up the middle, raises the defense, and he's got lots of time, but overthrows his receivers.
Well,
all covered. They're both well covered.
The one thing, Jason Helmo, number 1, did have some open spots, but he's got to throw it out there so he can go get it. He just sort of threw it.
Yeah, he got beyond the defensive player.
He was in position to catch the ball.
He did.
Hooper again goes back, 1st man through, and it's all clogged up in the middle right there. 2nd down.
Nice play by the Rockford defensive line there. Really stuffed it up the middle.
That'll bring up 3rd and long, I believe.
We noticed in the first half on the defensive center, when he submarines and gets buried, Jenison will pick up a few yards. When he keeps his head up and he faces his center, he usually stops things.
There's a nice picture
Good
of the
evening to everybody.
up here.
Sunny Florida. Fake handoff up the middle, and C.J. Hooper's scrambling for his life, and he puts it downfield, and it's going out of bounds. And that is going to be a third or fourth down, and the kicking team is going to come on the field right now.
Jeff was seeing the intended receiver well covered, almost overthrown, but actually C.J. Hooper was sort of running for his life to get rid of the ball there. So back to punt will be Mitch Harriman, averaging 36 yards per try. He's had about 25 attempts so far this year. Back deep, number 23 to receive. That was
Courtney Yin. He's been a thorn in Jenison's side from the last game.
Well, there might have been some movement by the Jenison offensive line there on the punt team. Number 61 may have moved on that. I don't know if we can pick it up on a replay or not. Very subtle move, but enough for the referee to pick it up.
It's a replay.
See if we can pick up this movement.
Right there, the
number 32, the end, made a little bit of a move, enough to
actually, what you've got here is a coaching situation. Number 25 causes the
good snap, good pressure.
Watch it.
Just lets it go.
Okay, Jenison gets the bounce, and it'll be decent field position. Really, for the Wildcats, that's about the best defensive position they've had in a long time.
Yeah, you're right.
They've got the Rams back on about the 35-yard line, if we can read that right. 39-yard line, I should say.
Well, Rockford's done a great job offensively tonight, and again, the game is at hand for them. They can now just kind of stick to their game plan, what they've been doing. They can stay conservative, and they've been able to run the ball fairly effectively and pass it as well.
Well, let's see how they come out this series and see if they keep it on the ground and try and move the clock. Number 40, Beamer, straight up the middle, trying to keep that clock going and picking up some yardage.
Actually, right now, what the Wildcats need is a little break, a little turnover. They turned the ball over in the first half 2 or 3 times and gave the Rams an opportunity to score some, I won't say easy touchdowns, but gave them good field position. And now what the Rams need to do is turn the ball as fair play, I guess. See if they could turn one over for the Wildcats here, but I don't believe you'll see that. They're a well-coached team. Ralph Munger coaching 7 years out here.
Single setback again. They put Beamer up the middle, and they're just going to run the clock right now.
Burning time, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you this. If they sort of do that and they go into this little funk, things change pretty fast.
That's right. Well, I don't know if our camera guys can get a good look at that Rockford offensive line, but there are some good-sized kids out there, and they're doing a great job tonight, both pass protection and on the run plays. The Rockford offensive line has done a very nice job.
Steve, they averaged 240 from tackle to tackle. At 6'5", 248, Adam Moich, 76. The left guard, 69, Mike Fowle at 6 foot, 215. The center is Jared Eli at 2'6", 220. The right guard, 51, Ben Miller, 5'10". The 5'11", 215. The big right tackle.
Dan Richards goes back to pass. He's going to go on that little roll out there. 23 is open. Nice. Okay, forced him out of his rhythm. And Jenison stops Rockford, and it's going to be 4th down. Now, this is what they got to do. Not a good series for Rockford right there, I didn't feel.
No, it wasn't.
Right. They just actually, Roger, what they tried to do is run that ball up the middle, and Jenison put the stop on them. So I'll have to say hats off to Jenison on the nice stop. And so they're still in here to play this game. Sample deep.
Little penetration, but he gets off a nice spiral kick. 2 people looking at the football, and
Sample right up the middle, brought down by 46 for the Rams. That would be Ryan Kriesker.
Right now, again, Jenison is not in the greatest field position. They need to string together a couple first downs to get that momentum going. 3:46 to go in the third quarter. Rockford in the lead, 21-6.
Ball on about the 26-yard line. What they really need, Raj, is to break off about a 30, 40-yard gainer and get a little boost going here, a little morale booster.
They've had some success with the option, with Hooper keeping the ball or pitching it out to Sample a couple times. Looked good.
Yep.
Let's see. Now they move their center. You see their defensive center moves over. Let's see if they counter that. They come up the middle. Hooper goes back. He's got to Picks it up off the grass tops, and he cuts loose. Oh,
boy, he must have put a knee down to the ground.
I think he had a knee down. He touched a knee down.
Let's check this out. This will be a good discussion item.
Nice offensive play by the Wildcats.
The official's got a smile on his face, and he knew that 10, Chad Sample had 6 points, but he did touch a knee down, I believe, after he caught. Watch the replay. We'll pick up. There goes Racine in motion. Yep, there he had the knee down when he picked the ball up.
Yeah, he sure did.
He had the knee down when he caught the pass.
Good camera work by our Crackerjack WCET camera crew.
Serving Granville, Jenison, and Hudsonville, and also going into Rockford and Cedar Springs area.
We want to wish Hudsonville all the luck in the world. Tomorrow they play, and they had a tremendous season. Hooper goes back, and no, he gives it off inside. It looked, bought the fake. He puts it off inside, and it's stuffed right there at the line of scrimmage.
Ball carrier is Mitch Harriman. Watch Mitch Harriman just take the hand off and just dive off the right side of the line.
Nice
and
tackle.
57 for the Rams on the nice stop there, and Tim Brimmer.
Let's check their defense and see what they go back into. They were in a 4-man front. I didn't check last time, but let's see if he's got a man over center. They do. They're playing head up on the center. See if he stays there. They've had some success when they've been head up with Harriman carrying the football in the middle. Looks like they're going to call timeout here in just a second.
Well, they're running out of time, and it's a kind of a crucial 3rd and 10. So the Wildcats call timeout with 2:24 to go in the third quarter. Score 21-6 in favor of the Rams.
Well, Tony Anise, I'm sure, is going out there. This is an important series for him. He needs to keep that chains coming down the field, and so wants to make sure everybody is on the right page with this play. Because otherwise he has to give the football up, and probably Rockford will run out the clock. So if they can keep it going, maybe they can punch something in here.
There's a good look at the Jenison crowd. Those guys look a little warmer than we do right now, but there's not a lot of activity there. You can tell that their team is down right now and in a hole.
Well,
and there's a better look at us.
Yep, no matter what happens tonight, Jenison has a fairly young team. C.J. Hooper is a junior. Mitch Harriman is a junior. And then they have the left tackle, 79, Kyle Ross is a junior, 6'6", 255. He'll be back next year. And so they have some stuff to build on no matter what happens tonight. It's been a good season for the Wildcats.
Wildcats come out over the football, spread things out a little bit. Man in motion. Hooper fakes the first man through, goes back to pass. He's got a man in the corner, and let's see if he can come up with a football. It looks like he did.
Gives him the catch.
See where he goes out of bounds.
The question is, does he have the first down? I believe he does. I believe he's got the first down.
First down. Wildcats pick up a needy first down.
Roger, I'm watching the monitor, and you can really watch it. Roger, the monitor here. Look how good. Watch this good camera play here. Work right here. Boom.
Boom.
See there?
Yep. Our crack camera guys are right on it.
Heads off to WCET. Nice play on the nice camera work here.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats, trying to punch something in here before the end of the third quarter. Pitches it out for an end run.
There goes Harriman.
Harriman gets a load of steam and picks up some nice yardage.
He carries Ryan Kriske, number 46, is 6 foot tall and 190 pounds, about 5 yards on his back. Watch number 30 carry the defender about 5 yards on his back.
That's a deep run. Good pursuit by Rockford, but nobody really put the hit on it.
That's
right. Funny, wasn't it?
Rockford's got good team speed. They really do. They can get outside and they can cover the ends, but Harriman was fast and he's strong and made a nice run there.
Well, the Wildcats are coming down the football field right now. They're into Rockford territory. Let's see if Hooper can keep it going. He's going to run the option or he's going to keep it. It looked like a broken play.
Actually, nice penetration by number 36 for the Rockford Rams on the takedown. Tony Savickas, number 36. Watch Tony Savickas, 36, smell it out, and this brings him right down right there.
Second down and long yardage to go, about 14 yards for a first down.
So nice. This is a big series of downs right now. Nice series. This drive is important for the Wildcats to get back into the game.
Tony Savickas has been a thorn in Jenison's side now the second game in a row, so he's done very well for himself.
Same
Hooper's
play.
coming. He's got the option. Now he's got Harriman to throw it to him. Boy, he just punishes the guy right there.
Brought down by number 8, the inside linebacker, Mike Lundberg, at 6'2", 195, and he knows he ran into somebody there.
Chris Maxim, number 20, is getting up like What truck just hit?
Yeah.
Me?
I would say, fellas, that no matter what happens on this drive, that they're going to go for just keep you're down in 4-down territory as far as Jenison's concerned at this game.
Big third down play and a quick count.
There goes Harrell off the right side. I believe he's going to pick up his first down here.
Flag comes out. Let's see what happens here. This is going to hurt Jenison. This has got to go against.
It's against the referees calling against Jenison.
Illegal motion. They didn't set maybe long enough.
No, you know that's right. They tried to go on a quick count, and let's get a replay here.
Yeah, it was a quick count.
I think that's exactly what it was.
Now another important play right here. You're going to have third down.
I believe he had his first down, didn't he?
Yeah, he did have the first down, and now they're going to lose it and go back.
They were not set, I don't believe, long enough before the ball was snapped.
They're going to need about 11 yards, Don, for a first down.
Right. I look for that pitch out play, the option right or left with Harriman, the recipient of the pitch.
21 seconds to go. Hooper goes back, fakes the man in the middle. Number one's going to, and he gets it gets batted out of his hand just as he throws it.
Well done by the Rockford defensive line. They had nice pursuit on the quarterback, Hooper, and number 83 for Rockford did a great job. Let's get a look at this again, and we can see that he really rushes Hooper. He's a big kid coming in, and Hooper just had nothing to do but throw the ball out of bounds rather than take another 10-yard loss.
Let's see what they do now, if they're going to go fourth down or if they're going to kick field goal.
I don't believe they can kick a field goal from there.
I'm sorry, kick a punt, I'm sure.
Punt it?
Yeah, I would think a punt to get them in field position, better field position. If they fumble, they're down here to score.
Right.
Yeah, they've got to go 4th and 11. They're going to go
for it.
You bet.
Big play.
Yep. Okay, quick kick.
This
is good. This is good. It's blocked. It's blocked.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, boy, that's a tough break for the Wildcats. They had him in a good position to get a good field position.
Steve Mikulak, 42 on the takedown, but a block punt.
Nice play by the Rockford defense. They read that, they've seen it, they've probably seen some film on it, and well done by the defense for Rockford.
Well, the Wildcats aren't hurt too bad. They're in the middle of the field, but still, that position would have been so much better. But Rockford was up to the challenge, and they blocked that punt.
Actually, Jenison Wildcats ran that play against Rockford when they played this season. They did the quick kick, and they probably had seen it before, as you said.
I tell you, I love that play as part of football.
Yes.
To me, you don't see it very often.
That's right.
But it's such a crucial part.
Yep.
Good handoff, good run in there by number 40, Beamer, and we got some flags thrown, so let's see what happens here. Nice run by Beamer as he goes down the field for about 15 yards.
It is the end of the third quarter. The score, Rockford 21, Jenison 6.
Right now, the quarter just ended, but it looks to me like there's a penalty, and we'll see. Let's start it out. Flip.
Against the Rams.
It's coming back, folks.
Well, it's coming back.
Here's a replay.
Let's see if we pick up this clip on this play. Their flags came from all sides of the field, so it must have been pretty obvious wherever it was.
Oh, right, 79, right there.
79.
Yeah, 79.
Yeah. He's holding his arms like what did I do? But it was pretty obvious. He put a clip there.
Nice run by Beamer, 40 off the left side of the line.
Yeah, Beamer's had a nice game.
Yeah, he has. He's also getting some great blocking up front from that line.
But you just can't block him in the back.
That's right. Now, do they run this play again? I guess the quarter is over, but they key it back up, and I guess we run the play again from same position on the field.
No, I think they'll
Except
march it off, and then they'll turn.
Then turn it over to the fourth quarter.
Clipping against the Rams.
Well, let's see what they do. I guess they're going to. They have to wait one more play, and then they'll switch this over here. So it's going to still be the third quarter, but with no time. Wildcats, they're spread out.
There goes a double pass play.
And he gets hit just as he lets the ball go. Let's see if Jenison can get back there. They may have intercepted. No, it falls free.
Falls short. Good defensive play by number 44, the linebacker, fouled and played deep back all the way. Todd Smith, 44, inside linebacker, going back on pass defense.
Boy, Jenison just can't come up with that little key interception.
No, that's right.
It's just too bad. They're close, but no cigar. He's in good position, intercepted.
At the end of the third quarter, it is Belding 28, Central Montcalm 6.
Belding off to a great start in the tournaments.
They sure are. Well, just to round out the third quarter, there was one touchdown scored, and it was early in the third quarter, and that was Richards to Mikulak, a 7-yard rollout pass to the left. The extra point, the PAT was good, which made the score 21-6, and that is where we stand right now. Rockford leading 21-6.
Well, the final quarter is coming up in a couple minutes, and right now I have to hand it to Ralph Munger. I really like what he has done tonight. I mean, he has really thrown the kitchen sink at Jenison.
Yep.
And they really don't know what they're going to see next.
Nope, you're right.
Well, actually, if you, in all honesty, Rockford has the luxury of being able to be a little tricky. They have the 21-6 lead, and they have the ability now to pull some things out of the trick bag if they want to.
Hey, guys.
Although I'm sure there are a lot of scouts here from Grand Ledge and from Midland to come and see what they've got to see here between the two clubs out here right now.
I also heard there were some national TV people out scouting us tonight, so hopefully we're on our best game.
NBC, here we come.
Yeah, we're in no danger, boys, trust me.
Dan Richards looking deep, and he's got a man wide open as number 10, Sample, can't get back.
It's number 11, Andy Seagard.
Touchdown.
Andy Seagard defended by Chad Sample, but a beautiful catch by Seagard in the end zone, 5 yards deep. But the most impressive thing is the amount of the distance that this ball was in the air. It was 55, 60 yards in the air.
Beautiful pass, and gets beat deep in the end zone for a touchdown. And right now it's 27-6, and the Rockford Rams are putting it to the Wildcats.
Boy, you know, we had a great angle on that play. And Andy Seagar, you could just see him. He couldn't wait for that ball to come down quick enough because he beat the next guy by 5 yards.
Actually, he was out there waiting for the ball.
He sure was.
He would have beaten his defender. He turned around and just waiting. I hope I don't drop this ball. He had time to think about it.
Yeah, he did.
And the quarterback, Dan Richards, 6'3", 180, put the ball about 60 yards in the air with the wind at his back a little bit.
Extra point coming up.
Greenland's kick.
Nice spot. Good kick. Good point.
And a nice catch by the drummer.
Yeah, the drummer made a catch in the end zone.
Did it go right in his drum? 28-6, and the Wildcats are on the Rams are on a roll. Poor Wildcats can't quite get their act together.
Well, the difference right now has been a few turnovers by the Wildcats in the first half of the game, and then the Rams have taken advantage of every opportunity handed to them, and they've put the ball in the air, and they've had a great passing attack with Dan Richards, 17, hitting a number of receivers. Number 13, he's hit Mike Oakes. Number 40, he's got a couple of passes. Phil Beamer, and the big killer then was to Andy Seagard, number 11, 5 yards deep in the end zone, getting behind the Jenison Wildcat defender. So you've got to hand it to the Rams who've come to play tonight.
That's a good point, Don. I think they really have come to play, and you can see the enthusiasm right from the beginning of the game. They had a little letdown, but Jenison's got a good football team, and they're going to score a touchdown. But for the most part, the Rams have been fired up. Their team has been fired up. The fans have been fired up, and they have thrown everything at Jenison, and so it's kept it really Jenison on an uneven balance. They don't know what's coming at them next.
Yeah, you know, you got to hand it to Rockford coming off that 41-14 defeat by Birmingham Brother Rice, and they come back tonight and they didn't get their divers down, having been beaten by the Detroit Catholic League is a tough league, and Birmingham laid it on them pretty good last week.
Well, the Wildcats are getting ready to receive the football, and number 7 is going to get it, Dave Redell. And he's looking behind his wedge to see if he can pick up a few yards, and does.
Got to about the 26-yard line, Dave Radel. Dave Rattle.
Boy, Dave, we apologize for what we've done you tonight, my friend.
Yeah, we booked his name over pretty good.
Dave Radel, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Radel. We'll say it all together. 1, 2, 3. Radel.
Dave Radel.
Okay, there you go.
How's Seth doing, by the way?
No, so we changed it to C.
Okay.
High formation.
Let's see how the Wildcats.
Herman's a fullback.
Let's see how the Wildcats react now after being scored on. They give it to first man through, and the quarterback keeps it, and he moves up the field.
Nice tackle.
Beautiful tackle. He went down like a.
Scott Phillips came up, made a real nice tackle on Hooper.
Wrapped him up tight, didn't he?
Well, here comes the replay. The Rams are playing pretty loose football right now.
I'm sorry, that tackle is by Chris Maxson.
Chris Maxim, number 20, is a great little player at 5'8", 150, only a sophomore. He'll be around for 2 more years, so we'll see him for 2 more years after tonight, and great little player.
He wrapped him up very nicely, didn't he?
Nice play.
Hooper, first man through again. He options the ball out to Dawkins.
Aaron Dawkins, somewhat tentative on the run that time.
Dawkins is a sophomore, and he's got a couple more years to go, so we look for good things from him.
He's only got about 200 yards on the year. He got hurt early in the year with an ankle and was out for a couple of games, and he's back in playing 5'11", 180.
Third down and 5, third down and 6. Big play again as Jenison can try and keep this going a little bit to build some momentum. They just need to look at each drive as a separate drive and not worry about the score and just try and score some points.
It was Mitch Harriman with the reverse.
Double handoff, and we got a quarterback's going out for a pass, and he could catch it, and he does. Little hipper-dipper kind of play, and he's going to move up the
C.J. Hooper
field.
was still running. That pass was thrown by number 16, and we don't know who he is. He's not showing up on the scorecard.
Well, if you get a look at C.J. Hooper here for a quarterback, he makes a nice play here because he actually pushed the defensive player off to get open, and he got away with one there.
Which is defensive. That's a little bit...
See if we can get a look at this. If you watch Hooper, if we can catch this right at the end to get open, he pushes his guy away. And made a nice catch.
Reverses his field and picks up a few extra
Followed
yards.
over by number 20 again, Chris Maxim, the stop.
Nice throw, too.
Got two wideouts. Hooper again's got two backs. First man through is Harriman. Let's see if he can peel something off.
Harriman just won't go down. It takes about 5 of the Rams to bring him down. He just will not go down.
Harriman picks up some nice yardage. 9:51 to go in the fourth quarter. First down, Jenison.
Number 81 brings a play in for the Wildcats. That's Jeff Racine. Aaron Dawkins, 27, going out, along with, I think it's number 62. 62, Tracy Branch.
Hooper goes back to pass. Let's see who he goes to. He's got somebody on the side and throws it in the ground.
Well, he had 81 open. Jeff Racine was open a little bit, but the ball was a little short-armed down there, and it was at the ankles and couldn't quite pick it up. Couldn't scoop it off, so it's 9:30 to go in the season for one of these teams.
There's a good look at Hooper. He's had a tough, hard-fought game tonight. You can tell he looks like the wind's coming out of his sails a little bit, but they're going to keep fighting. They're not going to give up till the gun sounds.
Scott Dodds, number 88, brings a play into the offense. He's filling in for B.J. Moss, who's out with the torn ACL.
Second and 10 for the Wildcats, trying to put something together. Two wideouts, man in motion. Quick pitch to Harriman. Let's see if he can pick up a few blockers, and he's trying to get to the outside.
He's getting out of bounds. Smart play, run out by 58. Number 58, the inside. That's Luke Bottas. Running him out of bounds. Here's a replay. Watch your Harriman. This bull's way out of bounds over here. He's just looking to hit somebody. He's looking to run people over.
You know, it's funny. They pull a tackle, and then, well, it's interesting to note. It's tough for him to get outside, and he's working to the outside. But I guess they're just trying to get people in the way of people, and that's all.
Another big third down play for the Wildcats.
Two setbacks, two wideouts. Go to the strong side of the football field. Hooper fakes the first man through and gives it off. And let's see what they pick up.
Dawkins for very little yardage, certainly not enough for a first down. Will bring up 4th and long for the first down in 4-down territory, but really not 4-down territory. It's on about the 40-yard line, I guess it would be. And the Wildcats obviously going to go for the first down.
I think Jenison wants a timeout here.
4th and about 6 yards to go for a first down. So, you know, another thing to look at here in their going into their passing game, they really never use the tight end. Yeah. And if they go out, they always are going to the wideouts. It's just.
That's a good point. Sometimes I feel old-fashioned by saying this, but I don't think enough teams go to the tight end anymore. And, you know, Rockford's made some use of their tight end tonight. I haven't seen Jenison go to their tight ends a lot tonight, but, boy, this could be a good play to catch a tight end, blocking and breaking out off to the sideline.
Earlier in the season, Steve and Roger, they were using the number 99, B.J. Moss, quite a bit. The big tight end at about 6'3", 250, big kid. He scored about 5 touchdowns, and the tight end was utilized quite a little bit by the Wildcats. Tonight, 87, I believe, is the tight end for the Rams. That would be Brad Hamilton at 6'7", 245. Did a lot of damage when they played 3 weeks ago. So, in fact, he caught one tonight down here for first down.
Well, number 88 is at tight end, but you know you can't abandon that because your linebackers are moving out and you've got one-on-one down the middle, and you got to look at that sometimes. Well, let's see what happens. 4th down, big play for the Wildcats to see if they can keep something going. Rockford sort of bringing in their defense. First man through gets a handoff. Now he's got a man down the middle, and he's going to catch it. Going up.
Beautiful catch by number 1. That's Jason Himmelholt with the play of the game of the year for him. That's a big first down play. Watch Jason Himmelholt go up. He just wants the ball a little bit more than anybody else down there.
No,
he had
nice
3
play.
defenders all over him.
Well, another thing is he has a little time to throw the football, which means a little bit so he can find him.
Right.
And he puts it in there.
But give my respects to number 1, Jason Himmelholt, for a great catch.
Nice catch.
Single setback.
And a first down.
Got 3 wideouts. Jenison trying to get down in that end zone. They got 8:33 to go. They're going to the corner, and let's see,
yeah.
get it. Oh, and he just can't quite come up with it. Sample again trying to make a circus catch.
Sample alone down about the 10-yard line. You know, Jenison all of a sudden has got a passing game. I don't know where this was in the second quarter, but
well, the one thing I like about it, Don, is they're getting one-on-one. And when you get one-on-one, a lot of things can happen.
here's a replay. Watch Chad Sample. He's makes a big effort on about the 10-yard line, a little bit overthrown on about the 5-yard line. But it would have been
all he had to do was put it there, and he'd have caught it.
He was open.
Chad was trying to stay in bounds and couldn't quite bring it in.
The Wildcats go down to 2 wide receivers. Let's see how they work in the backfield right now. Harriman, of course, is their big moose. They're going straight out and down and out and going out of bounds. It looks like he maybe. And it looks like it'll be a fumble maybe. Let's see.
Boy,
and it is a fumble.
Picked up in there by number 8, the inside linebacker, Mike Lundberg, 6'2", 195. That's a downer for the Wildcats after Gregorski had made the catch and bobbled the ball and picked up by the linebacker. Watch the pass, good catch. Makes about a 2-yard run, and he stopped right there. Actually, took the ball out of his hands, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he did. You know, Eric tried, he thought about maybe going out of bounds, but he decided, hey, it's time to make something happen. I'm going to turn upfield and go, and ball was stripped from him.
We have a Wildcat down the field on about the 20-yard line. I'm not sure what that is, but
we had to run that play back again because it looked like he was falling out of bounds as he was taking the ball away from him.
With the defender, you'll notice the linebacker. Watch this. Here comes watch the replay. Watch 80 catch the ball and then turn upfield.
Now, right here. Now, so he's going out of bounds right there, and he loses the ball. To me, your impetus is almost out of bounds. I don't know. That's a debatable call.
It's a touch and go. Touch and go.
But that's good defensive play. I mean, if you can take it away and they give it to you, you're going the other way, and they are. The Rockford Rams have got it clicking tonight, that's for sure. 28-6, and they're handing it to Jenison.
Some nights it.
Yeah, he is. Jenison coach wants to find out exactly what happened there, and he's questioning the call as well.
Yeah, I think he felt he was out of bounds.
Everything is going Rockford's way tonight, that's for sure. But Tony Anise is not happy with that call at all. He feels like that the receiver, Racine, was actually Gregorski was out of bounds, and he's giving some static to the referee, and I can't blame him.
No, you got to make your point and move on.
Yep. Well, this will be a tester for the Rams. Let's see how good, if they can move down the field, take the clock. They got 8 minutes to go. They're probably going to keep it on the ground, and yes, they are.
That's Beamer, number 40, right up the middle. Last man up off the pile, 44, the inside linebacker, Todd Snibb, still playing good football with 75 tackles on the year, 5'10", 185, his last year. Looks like about 6 months left in his high school career.
Well, Jenison needs a good hit, get a hat on the ball, something to happen, make things go. 8 minutes to go, 7:51 to go in the fourth quarter. Richard looks, hands off to the first man through, and Jenison brings him down.
Actually, Rockford's going to take all the time they can take in the world, going back in the huddle, calling their play, and they're going to take all the time they can. Run it down. It's 3rd and 2. Clock rolling with 7:22 to go. Rockford on top, 28-6.
3rd down and 8 yards to go for the Rams to see if they can pick up, 3rd and 4, see if they can pick up a first down. They get a couple wideouts, single setback. See if the Wildcats can pick one off. And there's a flag, somebody moved.
Doug Campbell, number 75 in their tackle. He's been playing a pretty good game tonight. He hasn't played earlier in the year. Here's a replay. Let's see who moved here.
Let's see. See what these referees see that we don't see.
The right,
boy,
This is a tight end.
left guard
tight end, yeah.
and the left guard moved a little bit early too.
Well, now, defensive coordinator. If you're the defensive coordinator, what are you going to do?
Well, it's
You going to send somebody?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to fire somebody
You're
through
going to
there.
have to stunt somebody in and try to make something happen here.
Let's see what happens.
They got another.
And they got another one.
That time the right guard, I believe, flinched just a little bit. I don't know if they have got second teamers in right now or not. I mean,
No.
they may have, but are these many
No.
subs?
Hey, that umpire's wearing out his arm.
Yeah. It was a good call though, because if you'll see the replay, you'll notice that the offensive player did move. They're going the wrong direction.
Boy, I tell you, I think I'd throw the kitchen sink at them right now. They're on the 7-yard line.
Let's
Hey,
see
watch it flinch there by the right guard.
Oh,
I guess
it sure was.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the payback. See,
Yeah.
Tony and Nice went over and argued a little.
Yeah.
We'll give you a couple
I'll
right
tell
here.
you what, the player did
Here we
move.
go. Man up the middle again, and they're going to stuff it right there at the line of
and
scrimmage.
counter play going off the right side for no gain. So that brings up, I can't even tell you what it brings
It's
up.
fourth and a bunch. Fourth and a bunch.
Nice play by Ryan Smoes there. He wrapped him up, and that's what Jenison needed right there. Don't let them out. They're down in a hole. Don't let Rockford out.
Hey, listen, we've been at a game where the Wildcats have scored 3 touchdowns in 3 minutes.
That was about 10 or 12 years ago when they played Flint Northern. Was it Flint Northern?
Yeah, it was Flint Northern. Yeah, it was amazing. That's all I
back
can
to
say.
kick the ball, the All-Stater, David Risco.
That's correct. Risco's back at his own.
He's on the end line.
His own end zone.
Last time he was back on his own end line, he kicked 190 yards, about to wound up on the 10-yard line.
Well, the Wildcats have 2 men back. Not a great kick, but they're going to field it.
Oh.
But he called a fair catch.
I don't know. Well, Radel calls a fair catch on about the 50-yard line, so that sets up 1st and 10 with 5:50 to go.
Now some of the scores coming in from around the state on some of the tournament games. Middleville was behind. Belding was ahead.
Right.
Oh, Rockford will be scouting that tomorrow to see who they play. And Hooper fakes up the middle, and he rolls out. He's got a man open, and he hits him.
Aaron Dawkins with the catch down to about the 40-yard line, I guess it is. I'm guessing.
And looks like they're going to get in their 2-minute drill right now with 5:37 to go.
Yeah, they're going no huddle.
Set offense for the Wildcats. Hooper goes straight back to pass, and he hits a man. Nice play coming out of that.
Jeff Racine, the receiver, going out of bounds, stopping the clock.
There we go, tight end.
Yeah, yep.
Jeff Racine.
See if the Wildcats can keep her going. Be good to at least score a touchdown here. 5:20 to go. Wildcats trying to keep that momentum going. 1st and 10. Rockford Rams trying to stop them. Let's see how they play this defense if they send somebody after Hooper. You know he may try to roll out or pass. And he's going to roll out.
He sure did.
Here comes the.
He's got 1 man down. He's got a man open. And there's a flag on number 88 is going to be.
We're going to see what happens.
He got tripped up.
Let's just wait and see what happens here.
Looks like pass interference.
Yeah, it sure does.
That was.
Yeah, Hooper had a receiver wide open, and all of a sudden he was just not there. So I think he got tripped up or pushed.
He had big pressure from Tony Savecas, 36, pressured him. Pass interference, I believe. Watch the 88 get interfered with, I believe, on the offensive play. 88 goes downfield. Pressure coming from the outside here. And,
see, he trips up, and you don't quite see him in the picture, but he got tripped up pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be nice to see Jenison put one in here with about 5 minutes to go in the game and put a little
fade in the corner.
Yeah.
Little pride back in the Wildcats.
Let's see if they do that. Wildcats trying to claw their way back a little bit, get some respect. Man in motion. And they're going to roll this way. Harriman's going to try and take that football. Cuts back.
Harriman down to the 5-yard line, so he's stopped by number 11, Andy Seagard on the stop. Coming up from his Andy Seagard's played both ways. He's damaged us. I should say he's damaged the Wildcats both offensively and defensively with the long 60-yard reception down on this end and making stops on the other end. Andy Seagard being the brother of the Seaguard. They played quarterback last year, who's now at Purdue.
Harriman's got a real nice way he runs.
Yeah, he does.
He says, like, you know, he cuts back against the grain and cuts back, and he makes people miss.
Oh, he's got
miss. That's going to be
out
of bounds.
Himmelholt in the end zone in the end line.
Well, Himmelholt made a nice catch earlier, and at about 5'11". He's not real tall, but he's a good jumper, and he just couldn't come up with that one.
Let's run this again and watch now. Watch their defense. See how he's got good position. He's looking at the football. Now he turns his back, but he has decent coverage on a long pass.
Yeah, nice coverage by the Rockford Rams on defense.
Again, and none other than Chris Maxim, number 20, going both ways.
And I have to say about Rockford's defense, they have good team speed.
They do.
You don't.
It goes Harriman up the middle for a touchdown.
He's in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Nice play by Mitch Harriman. Powering his way in there at 4:26 to go in the fourth quarter.
I would look to see the Wildcats to go for 2 points here. There's a replay. Just watch Mitch Harriman just run people over right there. He hits one tackle, two people, and he takes Seaguard into the end zone with him.
Number 11, you got to get your head down there, boy.
Number 11, Andy Seaguard, has played a fine game for the Rams tonight. Andy Seaguard, but he ran someone over prior to Seaguard hitting him on the goal line.
2-point conversion for the Wildcats. Let's see if they can come up with it. Fakes into the middle. He's going to be pressured right now, and he's trying to get rid of it. And he's got it.
He's got it.
Yeah, nice play.
Let's see who this is. We can't pick his name. It's 88.
Dodds.
That's Scott Dodds, number 88, the senior tight end playing for B.J. Moss. Picks up 2 points. That's
who was that guy's name again?
No, it's
definitely worth a replay. This is a nice play by the Wildcats. Hooper stays with it. He knows Dodds is going to break to the corner. And Dodds makes a nice catch, looks it in with 2 guys on him, makes a nice catch.
Nice drive for the Wildcats, and nice play by Mitch Harriman to score the 6 points, and a great throw by the quarterback, C.J. Hooper, and nice catch by Scott Dodds to make this a 14-28 ball game.
4 minutes and 26 seconds to go, and let's see if the Wildcats can get a little lucky on this kickoff. I think we all know that it's going to be onside, and it's just the way you're going to pooch this ball if they can get that spin.
You know, Roger, wouldn't it be something, an onside kick? They've got 4 minutes and 26 seconds. They could put a little scare in the Rams yet here.
Oh, they sure could. Listen, it can happen. It just needs to get that bounce right.
Yeah, you know it's coming, don't you?
Yeah, it's going to come.
Sure it is.
You watch these guys even in the pros and in college, and just where they hit it, if they can get that thing to bounce up in the air and let us get underneath it.
They have their good hands people, I'm sure, up in front here. The All-State good hands people up in front for the Rams.
Well, this will be interesting. This is fun part of football here. Rockford needs to come up with this ball to sort of take the scare away now.
Adam White's just going to kick the ball over to the left side. He's got about 9 players over there.
What if he sidekicked this over those 2 guys standing right in front of him?
That's not a bad call. I was thinking the same thing.
Well, we're not the coach. There he goes. Nice kick. Nice. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that ball's free. Oh, they got it back.
Rockford Rams picked the ball up.
Beautiful attempt by the Wildcats to get that football back.
That was well done. The Rams did a nice job of going in and catching that ball, and that was a big play by number 11 for Rockford.
Watch the replay. Watch the ball take the big hop like it's supposed to right there.
Perfect. That's exactly what they want.
That's exactly right. What you want is your offensive lineman going down and jumping up to just catch that ball. But it was a great opportunity, just didn't happen.
Yeah, well, once again, Seaguard came in and made a nice play. So at 6'1", 175, he reached up and made a nice play on that.
Well, Jenison still has 3 timeouts, and if they can put the stop on it right here, they get that ball back again. See how it works out.
Andy Seaguard, only a junior. He'll be back again next year.
And they go straight up the middle.
Well, it's no surprise to see Beamer taking that ball because he has been running real hard tonight. We've talked a lot about Mitch Harriman, but Beamer's had a real nice game tonight and pounding the yards up the middle.
Picks up about 5 yards on that first carry. That's what they need. They get that first carry, get 5-6 yards, changes that whole series.
Keeps that clock rolling for the Rams.
Rockford out of the huddle right away, keeping the clock moving. They got all 3 backs in there right now. Everything's tight, man in motion. Straight up the middle, and Jenison stops him right there.
Brought down by Snip, 44, inside linebacker.
3rd down, 3rd and about 5. Watch this. Jenison gets good penetration.
Oh, nice hit, Snip.
Yep.
Jason came up, made a nice play, filled a hole, and someone missed a block by the Rams, but a nice defensive stunt by the Wildcats. Nice call, Kelly Cole.
Will Dan Richard put it in the air, or will he run the football?
I'm trying to see if we have a different quarterback. Actually, number 7 is a quarterback right now. We have Keith Worth in there, quarterback.
And he fumbles a football. Whoa!
By Ram, though, however.
Let's see what happens.
Keith Worth, number 7, is a junior quarterback at 6'3", 170. He will probably be the heir apparent to Dan Richard. Here's a replay.
Fourth down, and the ball is dropped.
Caramel got some nice penetration of field. And I'll tell you, ever since the Rams went up to the lead they have right now, 28 points, you can see their offense has gotten out of their game plan, and they've almost just been playing to protect themselves.
Yep.
There's a good look at the Jenison athletic director, Kurt Pals, tonight.
And the superintendent, Dave Dressler.
Superintendent. Looks like the cold is starting to affect Kurt Pals a little bit, but he's looking pretty good.
That's right.
He's got the collar up pretty high.
Got the collar working up high there, but he's got the Jenison green on. I like the Jenison green.
Not a happy camper right now.
No.
2:59 to go. Wildcats are going to get in their return group out on the field. See if they can bring this back. We've got a fantastic kicker. Let's see how David Rusko does.
Back deep, number 7 is
Jenison's
Dave
bringing the whole can coming in right now.
They've come close a few times.
Block this thing.
Good kick.
Nice kick.
Wow.
He gets it up in the air and he calls a fair catch. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And it takes a Rockford bounce. And it's down on the 3-yard line. Outstanding. Outstanding.
That shows you the difference between a regular kicker and an all-state kicker.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful kick. It was high. It was hit. It was. If you'll notice, he kicked the ball super high in the air. Let the guys get down and down it.
Well, I had my watch on that, and that was 5.3 hang time.
Really?
Nice kick. Oh, absolutely.
Seriously?
Yeah.
5.3.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the game has changed so much. People now, their defenders coming down to, if they don't call for the kick, they're going to catch the kick.
That's right.
You know, that game used to be it wasn't that way 5 years ago. Here we go, Wildcats. Let's see if they can do something here.
Not a lot of working room down here on the 3-yard line, but C.J. Hooper under center.
Backs are in the end zone, double wide out. Let's see if he can get downfield somehow. 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go. He keeps the football, sprints to the outside, tries to pick up something. He does break to the outside and gets out of bounds.
He might have picked up a first down, and he also stopped the clock as well. 2:39 to go in the game.
Boy, this is a nice play by Hooper. He makes a nice cut up the field, gets right past Chris Maxim. If you watch the replay here, Hooper takes it upfield, and Maxim has played a nice game tonight, comes up, and he cuts it upfield, breaks the corner, and gets out of bounds.
I think
good breathing room.
We've got to go deep.
Yeah, it's time.
Let's see if we can't break something, get lucky. You know, they're going to have a free safety go double up on one, but you go one-on-one on the other side. Let's see what happens. Hooper fakes in, gets some protection. He runs out of the protection. He's got people down there, and he's got
nice catch by Dodge by the front. Could be a first down.
Very close.
Dodge with a catch.
Yeah, good catch by Dodds. He reaches it in, gets it with his hands.
He had big pressure coming from too. I'll tell you what, C.J. Hooper was doing hard press 42.
Now right there, he should have let his fullback come in and block the guy out and cut up inside.
Yeah, right. Second and short.
Some gremlins are talking to us here.
Yeah. Well, you know.
What happens is the Rockford defense is starting to soften up a little bit and allowing some of that passing to go on a little bit too.
Stake our end and send him deep.
Here comes pressure from the backside.
Oh, we just need to let that ball go in there. Third down right now.
2:24 to go. I'll still say the Wildcats could have put the ball up a little bit more maybe earlier in the game to open up the running game just a little bit more, but I guess hindsight's 20/20, right?
You're right.
That's why we're sitting up here, not down there.
Well, let's see what happens here. It's third down and about a foot to go for a first down. They need to get the first down, but you might want to streak somebody down there. You got two wideouts. Let's see if you can't break them. They're right there. Oh, and the ball gets popped up.
That was Steve Mikulak, number 42. If he doesn't make all conference, I don't know who can, but 42 has had an outstanding game. That's number 42. jump up and just knock this ball down and
Sure
just pound off a tackle's head. He's a great player at 42.
You need a first down, and you just go with a quarterback sneak, pick up the first down, and then you start over again.
You're right.
Nice play by Mikulak. Very nice play.
Yep.
I would say that Harem are probably going to be called on to run this thing right off tackle somewhere. Number 30.
Yeah, they got their 5-man front on defense. Let's see, now he moves over to the left shoulder, and they're not going to make it.
That was just a real quick snap.
Well, you know,
that's
very indicative of how things have gone for the Wildcats all night. They tried to go on a quick snap to catch them off guard, and the ball was fumbled, and I think they're going to turn it over to Rockford.
Yep.
Whether it's a fumble or on downs, it's going to Rockford.
Well, that's where the spot is. Let's see what it looks like. Boy,
They're going to give the ball to the Rams, which is pretty much, as Steve Peterson just said, indicative of where the game has gone all night long.
As the leader of that offense, you cannot do that. You have got to be in control of that, and you have to command that.
Yep.
And there.
Matt Schmucker is a senior, and I don't call him out for the quick snap. It was not his fault. He's not his fault.
Yeah, and as a former center, I say that it's always, when it comes down to the quarterback or the center in that case, it's the quarterback's fault.
You got it. Well, I won't say whose fault. I wasn't down there.
No, we're not here to blame anyone. It happens. No, it happens.
Well, let's see. Rockford should just run out the clock right now. There's 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. So,
well, we've certainly enjoyed being here tonight. That's for sure. We wish the Rockford Rams all the luck in the world next week when they go out to meet either Midland or Grand Ledge. We don't know who that will be until tomorrow after 1 o'clock's game. But
well, they represent the OK Red Conference, and we all should support them and root for them to make it all the way. That's for sure.
You bet.
And they have a nice team. They really have done well. They came at Jenison with a lot of different options.
Here comes number 20.
And right now he's going to score again.
Maxim scores again. Chris Maxim, only a sophomore, two-way starter. I think that the Daubers are a little down right now for the Wildcats, and we might see a replay, but that was a great run by number 20. He's played both ways all night. There's a replay. Watch this play by 20.
Chris Maxim, he cuts back and does a real nice job moving
going against the grain.
Back against the grain. Number 20.
They call those the cutback lanes, and he found one, and there was no one over there.
34-14, the Wildcats on the short end with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go, just trying to really get through this game.
Back to kick, Luke Greenland for the 5th time tonight, placed down.
And it looks good, and it is good.
I would say that the score really is not indicative of how well Jenison really has played. I would say that if you just saw that score in the paper, you'd say Jenison got mauled. But Jenison played a pretty tough game tonight. But they turned the ball over just a few too many times.
Well, the Rockford Rams came prepared to play. Let's put it that way. I tell you,
hey guys, there we are again. More importantly, there we are.
Yep, I have to take our hat off to Rockford. I'll tell you, they did. They came to play. They threw a lot at Jenison.
Yeah, they did.
And things worked for them. They got their passing game going right away. They got their running game going right away. Their defense really, I think, played very well. I mean, you're not going to stop our fullback, number 30, Mitch Harema, that many times.
No, they've done a nice job containing Harema and take nothing away from the Rams. They've played a great game, and to be honest with you, tonight, on this night, I think the better team won.
That's right. Yep. And they'll represent our group here in the OK Red Conference very well. I can tell you that. Well, for the Wildcats, they're sort of next year going to pack it in here in another couple of minutes and look forward to next season.
Yep.
And they've got a bright future next year.
That's right.
1 minute and 30 seconds to go. A lot of disheartened Jenison fans slowly making their way from the stands. The other thing, too, is the crowd has just been tremendous here for both teams to back it. I'd have to say that there's 8,000 or 9,000 people here in a high school football game. So great support. Number 32 for Jenison, Aaron Amato.
Aaron Amato picked up the ball, had his knee down when he picked the ball up, but the referee let it go. He fielded the ball with his knee on the ground, and normally he would just spot the ball back there.
Yeah, Aaron did a nice job. Aaron picked that ball up and ran, and I tell you what, he was a man on a mission. He ran that ball hard. I don't know if we get a replay on that, but this guy, Aaron's not giving up right now.
Here's the replay you're looking for. Watch his knee. And he picks the ball up with his knee down and they let it go.
Actually, he was up. I think he was up, but he puts a punishing hit on 4 Rockford guys.
81 took him down. Dave, I can't pronounce his name, Gerardot. I'll tell you what, he knows he got hit.
Got some new folks in there for Jenison, and boy, they coughed up the football right there on a quick pitch. The wheels have come off right now, that's for sure.
And it's back to Rockford. I would look for Rockford.
Yeah, this is not indicative of what these guys have done all season. You hate to see anyone, you don't want to say anyone's given up, but you can tell that these guys mentally are just not in the game right now, and I think Rockford's going to run it out and finish this thing up.
Yeah, let's hope that they just sort of take a knee. You got 1 minute and 19 seconds to go, and there doesn't need to be any kind of plays being run.
No pass plays for sure. I don't think you'll see the ball go in the air.
Well, I would even think you might want to hand it off, but I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's going down.
Yeah.
Number 75 there, Mr. Campbell.
Best thing that Rockford could do is just down the football and walk off the field and shake hands.
Here's a replay. Just takes the ball. We have a third. That's our third quarterback for the night, I believe, in there for the Rams.
Well, Doug Campbell made a nice play there. He's a senior. He knows he's playing in his last game, and he's quietly gone about his business tonight. Done a nice job.
.44 seconds to go, and then they do.
Well, the same could be said for Todd Gregg. He's had a long night in the middle there fighting against those guys who are a little bit tall, a little bit bigger, and he's played a nice game in the middle for Jenison as well.
The quarterback, 82, Rich McGungalow. He's 6 foot 175 senior, playing a few downs here before his career is over. Although he'll get a chance again next week to come back and live to play one more week.
Well, hats off to WCET crew tonight. Another nice night, great night of football, and they've done an excellent job covering this. Good job, guys.
They will be over to Hudsonville tomorrow, actually at Granville, to cover the, there's a nice stop by number 7 for the Wildcats, Dave Riddle.
That's going to finish it up, gentlemen.
That'll be it for the football season in 1998 for the Wildcats, and the Rockford Rams will go on to the second game in the state AA tournaments.
Well done, Rockford. Nice game.
My hat's off to the Rockford Rams, the coaching staff, the entire facilities out here are beautiful facilities, and they have a lot to be proud of with the Rockford Rams only losing the one game to Birmingham Brother Rice, and now they'll go on to play Grand Ridge or Midland next Friday night.
Well, I'd have to say for Rockford, it was a well-rounded team effort. Yeah. I think everybody contributed very well offensively and defensively, and I guess the guy that I would sort of point to right now would be Dan Richard, who sort of orchestrated the offense.
Yeah.
Right. And as far as Jenison's concerned, I think they weren't quite ready to put it all together. Mitch Harriman had, again, he usually has a very good game, and he played well again tonight, but they just didn't quite have it, and the Rockford Rams put it to Jenison 35-14 and are moving on. I don't know if Steve, if you want to quickly
just to recap the fourth quarter. It was really a potent fourth quarter. It was with about 11:51 left in the fourth. There was a 60-yard touchdown pass from Richards to Andy Seagard. Nice run play. Jenison did come back with 4:26 left in the game with a 7-yard run by Harriman, and they did score to Dodds on the 2-point conversion. But then to end the game, Maxim had about looks to me like about a 20-yard run with 1:30 left that pretty much finished up the game, and that gives us our final score of 35-14.
Actually, Steve, the nail in the coffin came when Andy Seagard, number 11, broke free 5 yards deep in the end zone and caught the 60-yarder from quarterback Dan Richards, which was the nail in the coffin. But I'll tell you, the Rams really have an awful lot of weapons with the offensive line going 240 tackle to tackle, great quarterback with a good arm. A lot of receivers out there for the Rams, too. Number 13, Mike Oakes caught a few. A good running back, number 40, Phil Beamer running the ball all night. And then this kid, number 36, I believe it is, Tony Savekis is a good two-way starter. Andy Seagard, number 11, played a great game. And that great punter, number 1, Dave Reisko, all-stater, just nailed those punts. And he put a few down here in the coffin corner several times. Just so many weapons that the Rockford Rams possess to be such a fine team, AA, to represent the OK Red in the next contest they'll have.
Well, listen, we're going to wrap it up for the final telecast for WCET. Steve Peterson and Don Peterson, it's really been enjoyable. Don?
This is the final telecast for the Jenisons, although next tomorrow they have the Hudsonville.
Right.
Hudsonville, and then if Hudsonville defeats that team, they'll of course follow that on right on through.
Right. So we, as sort of Jenison folks, wish everybody luck, and we'll be back in '99 to kick off another season.
Right.
So with that, the Rockford Rams move on and defeated Jenison 35-14, and we bid you a good night.
Good night, everybody.